Good evening. We'll go ahead and call the Cumberland County Board of Commissioners regular meeting on June 15th to order. I'd like to welcome everyone here. Before we get started with the invocation, as many of you know, Chairwoman and School Board member Judy Musgrave passed away this weekend. And I think it's fitting that we take a few minutes. One of this board's priorities is education, but she has been a champion across our community for many, many, many years, and just a voice for the children in our community and education in general, as well as the teachers and everybody that works at the school system. So I'd like to ask for a moment of silence in her honor. Thank you. And this time I will ask Commissioner Faircloth to bring us the invocation and Pledge of Allegiance.
Let's stand as we honor God and country, please. Gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity to come together to do the business of our county. We ask that you bless our proceedings, bless us, bless our county, bless our citizens, and the things that we do. We pray that those things are in the good graces and good sight of your grace and our citizens. We ask in your name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And I know we have a full room tonight. We also have an overflow room. We want to make accommodations for everyone, so we have overflow room as well. So again, as we move through the meeting, just appreciate everyone being respectful of each other. If you need to move in and out, please do it as quietly as you can as you move in and out of the chamber. Board, before we proceed with the recognitions, I'd like to address a point of order. Tonight's consent agenda includes several proclamations that correspond to individuals that are here tonight. And to recognize, in the interest of good of the order, I'd like to have the board take up approval of the agenda and the consent agenda now before we move to our next item of business, so that the proclamations can be formally adopted before we do the presentation. Without objection, I'd ask that we do that. All right, that's so moved. So I will move to the agenda portion and ask if there is any, County Manager Greer, is there anything to add to the agenda?
No, Chairman Devier, there's no additions to the agenda.
Commissioners, anything to add? Seeing none, I will entertain a motion to approve the agenda. Vice Chairman Jones.
Yes, I move that we approve the agenda for this meeting of June 15th, 2026.
Second.
We've got a motion to approve the agenda. It's been properly seconded. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, I'll ask for your vote. All in favor, raise your right hand.
Unanimous.
This time we'll move to the consent agenda. Commissioners, are there items adjustments for the consent agenda? Commissioner Adams, you're recognized.
Mr. Chairman, I would ask to remove 2U. I guess that's U. 2. Yeah, 2U. I was going to do 2L, but after our conversation, we'll have a further conversation.
Thank you, Commissioner Adams. So we'll move item U to item F under items of business. Anything else, Commissioners? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda. Vice Chairman Jones.
Yes, I move that we approve the consent agenda with the following changes. 2U to be moved to item F under items of new business.
Second.
Got a motion to approve the consent agenda. It's been properly seconded. Any questions or comments on the motion? Seeing none, I'll ask for your vote. All in favor, raise your right hand.
Unanimous.
And Board, as we begin to start the recognitions, We've got a special recognition that I want to start with. Mr. Tyson, if you'll join me down at the podium.
Oh.
You in trouble now?
Uh-oh.
And I had conversations with her earlier today too, so we good.
We got you.
I know, you see?
So we like to celebrate success, and we like to celebrate joy and happiness. We have a new member of our Board of Commissioners. She was born a few months ago, but we want to take a moment and recognize that. And so first, we have some flowers for you, the new mom. But also thought it was fitting that Darby Catherine Tyson had a proclamation recognizing the date of her birth. And this little girl is one of the strongest kids that I know. She's got strong parents, but she's an amazing little child, has already been through a lot, and she has the strength of so many people. And I know there's been so many people in this community that has lifted her up in prayers. But we wanted to mark it with a proclamation because I think it's fitting. So the proclamation reads, whereas life on earth is a precious commodity, especially during a time when lives in parts of the world are being squandered by the whims of political turmoil, and whereas each new life brings with it hope and dreams of a better place on earth, and whereas children of today become leaders of tomorrow, and thus hold in their hands their hopes and dreams for a better world, and whereas a new life among many recently joined this family, Darby Catherine Tyson, who was born to Henry and Lindsay Tyson on the 8th day of February in the year 2026. And whereas the birth of Darby Catherine is a reminder of the miracle of life, a promise of the future, inspiring all to cherish the bonds of family and community. Now therefore, we, the Cumberland County Board of Commissioners, do hereby honorably proclaim the month of June as a special time of reflection and appreciation, thus honoring Darby Catherine Tyson as a representative of a generation that truly embodies our hopes and dreams for the future. Approved this 15th day of June 2026, signed Kirk Devier, Chairman, Cumberland County Board of Commissioners. So it's not many times that you have a child born when you're on a board like this. And I'll reflect back when I was on city council, Mayor Nat Roberts at the time, when I had my son Greg, did a proclamation like this and thought it was honoring, but especially with this young girl, this baby girl, we are so happy and happy for you as a family, and just wanted to honor this moment, something hopefully she will remember. So I'll turn it over to you if you want to make any comments.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate all the prayers and support. Our little miracle girl, she was born 3 months early. So she was 2.5 pounds. She's my little fighter, and we're just so proud of her. There were moments where they said she would not make it, and she is here. And God is good, and we are just so grateful for the support and the love from this community and all of the prayers. So we're just extremely grateful and blessed. And she's home after 113 days in the NICU. Amen. She's home.
All right, Commissioner Tyson, I'm going to give you a little bit of leeway, but I know how you are.
Well, Mr. Chairman, I don't normally get caught flat-footed, as you know.
I know.
And what a tremendous honor for this board to bestow upon my little girl and to our family. And she's already blessed our family in so many ways. And look forward to seeing her grow up and turn into the fine young lady that we know that she's going to be. So thank you all for your support and help during this time for our family. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, if I could just
You're
before you-
recognized. Hold on, don't leave yet, Commissioner Adams, you're recognized.
I had my button up there. We had a conversation in the back, and all I would tell you is the same thing I tell you back there, prayer works. we believe in the Lord, and the Lord has a way of healing and doing what he needs to do. God bless you. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Oh, you two down there with me.
Thank you for indulging us with that, something off the agenda, but we had to make sure we could catch Commissioner Tyson flat-footed. At this time, we'll go ahead and move forward with the continued recognitions. I'd like to ask Colonel Chad Mixon, the Fort Bragg Garrison Commander, to come up to the podium, and your bride. I just first want to, thank you for your service to the community as the Garrison Commander. We've got a couple things for you. We've got a proclamation that I want to read for you, even though your resume is long. You've done a lot of stuff in the years in the military, but let me read this proclamation, then we have something else for you as well. Whereas Colonel K. Chad Mixon is a distinguished U.S. Army officer and the current garrison commander of Fort Bragg, North Carolina, the world's largest military installation, and home to nearly 54,000 troops and 14,000 civilians. Whereas he began his military career in 1993 as an enlisted infantryman in the 1st of the 325 Airborne Infantry Regiment, 82nd Airborne. In May of 2000, he was commissioned as an officer through the Campbell University U.S. Army Reserve Officer Training Corps program. Whereas Colonel Mixon earned his Bachelor of Science degree from the University of North Carolina at Pembroke in 1996, while holding the rank of sergeant, and possesses the Army Expert Infantryman's Badge, Ranger Tab, Master Parachute Badge, Air Assault Badge, and a lot of others. I won't go into the laundry list of places that he has served, but whereas Colonel Mixon honors includes the Bronze Star Medal, Defense Meritorious Medal, Meritorious Service Medal, Joint Service Commendation Medal, Army Commendation Medal, Joint Service Achievement Medal, Iraqi Campaign Medal, Afghanistan Campaign Medal, Global War on Terrorism Expeditionary Medal, and the NATO Medal. And whereas the Cumberland County Board of Commissioners respects and honors Colonel Mixon's military service and appreciates his continued partnership. Now, therefore, the Cumberland County Board of Commissioners does hereby express our sincere appreciation and recognizes Colonel Chad Mixon for his unwavering service and dedication to our community and country. Thank you for making the sacrifice for our country to ensure the freedoms and liberties we enjoy. Presented this 15th day of June 2026, signed Kirk Deviere, Chairman, Cumberland County Board of Commissioners. And we also have something else for you. So, in my time that I've served in elected office, I've worked with a lot of different garrison commanders over the years, and I will tell you that in this role as the chairman of the commissioners, being able to work with Colonel Mixon, he understood the partnership that we needed to have at the county level with the garrison because of just how we always took care of soldiers, and that was first and foremost in his mind. But personally, just getting to know you, I'm glad. I know you're getting ready to retire, but I'm glad you're going to stay here. This community needs you, this state needs you, and we're very appreciative to everything you've done for the county as the garrison and working with us, and just the partnership. You let us inside the huddle, you let us inside the foxhole, and you always made sure that we were included. So we have something for you. We don't have keys at the city of the city or anything like that, but what we have is even more important in my mind. It's the crest of the county. And so this is presented to Colonel Chad Mixon in honor of his dedicated service to soldiers, their families in Cumberland County, from the Board of Commissioners, Cumberland County Board of Commissioners, June 15, 2026. So, and on it says, out of many, one, and that truly represents who you are, because you made sure this community was one, including Fort Bragg. So thank you, sir. And I think we have one other thing for your bride. Our clerk would like to present you some flowers. Hey, I get it. In the military, it's a team effort. It is a team effort. here's your proclamation, and you're welcome to make some words.
All right. Yeah, so I'm out flat-footed, Henry. Okay. No, thank you for that, Chairman Devier. This is great. I'm coming to an end of a 2-year garrison command job at Bragg, which is, I tell people I'm like the mayor, the county, the city manager all in one. But more than that, 31 years, as you mentioned, active duty. Came here many years ago from Florida and had no idea what Fayetteville was other than, a bunch of paratroopers on Fort Bragg. and since arriving here, it's become home. My boys, you heard I went to the Campbell ROTC program, graduated from Pembroke. My boys go to Terry Sanford. This is home to us, so we're super excited. My wife's from Charlotte. My mother-in-law's from Charlotte. But, Charlotte loves Fayetteville as much as I do, so we really appreciate all of this and all the, the last 2 years of teamwork. The Fort Bragg's got a bright future, a 5-year strategy, and it's gonna continue after I walk out to include everyone here. So I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner, before you sit down, Colonel Mixon, Commissioner Adams, you're recognized.
And I don't necessarily want Colonel Mixon. I want his wife to stand. But I'm going to tell you this.
You stand up.
My wife was in the Navy. And so I was a Navy wife, and they said that the hardest job in the Navy was a Navy wife. So I know that as an Army wife, the hardest job in the Army is an Army wife. So thank you for all you've done and being able to take care of the home front while he was out taking care of us. Thank you both.
We'll go ahead and move to item B, and Colonel Mixon, I'm sure you have pressing things to do, so when you excuse yourself, don't feel like you have to stay, sir. This time we'll move to item B, recognition of Fire Marshal designation Kevin Lothar. County Manager Greer, you're recognized.
Yes, Gary Crumpler, Emergency Services Director, will present this recognition.
Good afternoon, Chairman and Commissioners.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
It's a pleasure to be before you today to recognize one of my division leads in emergency services. Kevin Lowder, our Fire Marshal, has earned the designation through the Center for Public Safety Excellence. The Fire Marshal designation is a nationally recognized credential that demonstrates advanced knowledge, leadership, and professional achievement in the fields of fire prevention, code enforcement, fire investigation, public education, and community risk reduction. The Fire Marshal designation is held by only 338 individuals worldwide, including 31 in North Carolina, making it a rare accomplishment within the profession. His attainment of this credential strengthens the county's fire prevention and community risk reduction efforts while supporting the department's mission to protect lives, property, and the residents of Cumberland County. So at this time, I would request a member from the board to present Kevin with his certificate of achievement.
Commissioner Tyson, if you'll move to the podium, please, as the liaison.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Will,
Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Appreciate all you do, sir.
He reads the room well. Congratulations, and thank you for all you do and your dedication to this county. Commissioners, seeing no lights, we'll go ahead and move to item C. PIO Multimedia Content Specialist Harold Fields for ADA Coordinator Certification. County Manager Greer.
Yes, Diane Rice, Communications Director, will present this recognition.
Harold, come join us. I'm really excited to be able to recognize Harold Fields. Harold joined us about a year ago as one of our multimedia content specialists. He has an incredible amount of patience, and he's deeply professional and has a great attention to detail, which is why we as a county were able to bring our complex website into full DOJ digital accessibility compliance prior to what was our deadline of April 2026. So Harold has earned the ADA coordinator certificate. He completed 41 credits in 4 months. That program usually takes about 3 years. So this shows how dedicated Harold is to ensuring that our community has access to all of our digital resources. Harold continues to meet benchmarks, and he's amazing. So I'd love to have one of you come and present him with his certificate.
Commissioner Patel, if you'll go down. Board, well, he snuck off too quick, but congratulations. Thank you for your commitment in the work. That's pretty amazing on moving through those certificates that quickly and just all the work you've done to bring us in compliance. So thank you so much. Before we move forward to our next recognition, I just want to recognize Sheriff Morgan is here with us. So thank you for being here, sir. And I think electeds or former electeds, I think I saw former Commissioner Charles Evans here as well. I think that's everyone. So thank you all for being here, Sheriff. Thank you for being here. We'll go ahead and move forward to item D, emergency number professional ENP certification with Sheena Carver, County Manager Greer.
Yes, Gary Crumpler, Emergency Services Director, will present this
Sorry.
recognition.
Good evening again. It's my pleasure to be before you to present the emergency number professional certification to Sheena Craver. Sheena is essential to my leadership and management team. She keeps us straight whenever you have to submit those complicated 911 expenditure reporting and everything that we go through in that 911 center. She really runs the floor of the operation. So incredibly proud of her and grateful to have her husband and her son here to see her get this recognition. The number certification demonstrates advanced knowledge and expertise in emergency communication and 911 operations. It covers critical areas including 911 call processing, radio communication, and public safety answering points. To earn the certification, you have to have stringent experience, be able to submit and show your experience, and complete a very hard to pass 150 question examination. Sheena has met all those requirements and is very deserving of this certification. And again, I'm incredibly proud of her. So,
Commissioner Tyson, if you'll join him at the podium.
Thank you for everything you do for this community.
Count of three. Ready? 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3.
I'm sorry, Ms. Dowd.
Thank you, Board, for this. It was a lot of hard work. It's made me very proud, and I'm proud to be able to serve my community, and I appreciate all the support that you give us.
Thank you so much. Congratulations. Thank you for all you do for 911 and for our communications center. This time we'll go ahead and move forward to item E, Board of Elections Achievement for North Carolina Certified Elections Director Certification, Latasha Hill, County Manager Greer.
Yes, Assistant County Manager Tafana Bradley will present this recognition.
Good evening, Chair, Vice Chair, and Commissioners.
Tonight, I would like to recognize one of the Board of Elections staff for her achievement. First, I'd like to acknowledge the following Board of Elections members. Chair Linda DeVore is here, as well as past Chair Irene Grimes. In the past, the Board of Elections staff have not come before you to be recognized. This is something we want to change. We want to make sure all county staff are recognized. They are a small but mighty team. They're a staff of 5. Currently, they're recruiting for 3. Opportunity to director credentials signifies that an individual has met the state board's competence, including voter registration, early voting, absentee voting, election day operations, audits, recounts, and compliance with state and federal election laws. In the past, we have had other staff become certified. The current Deputy Elections Director, Vicki Hilburn, is certified. But tonight, we are recognizing Latasha Hill, Administrative Specialist, for successfully earning the North Carolina State Board of Elections Certified Elections Director certification. Ms. Hill has served with the County Board of Elections for nearly 4 years and currently oversees voter registration. In this role, she performs detailed planning, preparation, and administrative functions necessary to ensure compliance and North Carolina election laws and voter registration requirements. She works diligently to ensure that voter registration opportunities are available through appropriate channels to all eligible citizens of Cumberland County. And she plays a critical role in maintaining accurate voter records and supporting the integrity of the electoral process. For Ms. Hill, earning this certification represents a personal and professional commitment to public service, integrity, leadership, and excellence in election administration. She views elections as one of the most important responsibilities within our community and takes great pride in helping ensure that every eligible voter has the opportunity to participate fairly, safely, and confidently in the democratic process. This certification reflects her dedication to accuracy, accountability, impartiality, and continuous learning, as well as the hard work, sacrifice, and perseverance required to uphold the public's trust. This achievement further strengthens her ability to serve the citizens of Cumberland County and reinforces her commitment to professionalism, resilience, and service. And we want to congratulate and recognize Tasha this evening.
And if we can...
Her parents are here.
Well, have your parents please come up.
Annie and Carl Wilson.
And including the Board of Elections Chair as well, if she would like to come up. You can stay in it if you'd like to. Don't go anywhere yet. Everybody else runs off. Don't go anywhere yet. Commissioners, any comments? Vice Chairman Jones, you're recognized.
Thank you so much. I just want to say congratulations, and you have excellent customer service. I know this firsthand. It's pretty much all of us do whenever we have to go down there to file for election. But well-earned, well-deserved, and congratulations. Truly, you are definitely an asset to the county.
Thank you.
We appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate you all. Thank you.
Any words?
Thank you again for this recognition. It takes a lot of hard work. I earned this. Going to state trainings and being at every election for the past 4 years. So I have learned a lot. I still have a lot to learn, and I'm just appreciative of everything that I've learned and what the future has for me in store. So thank you again.
Thank you.
All right.
Commissioners, anything else? Vice Chairman Jones, you recognize.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Can we get a group picture with her if she could come up here with her?
Okay.
Commissioners, can you stand up, please? Can you come to us?
Okay.
Stand up. Personal request, you just turn around and you can stand up. Sorry. But I'm supposed to get up and down. Yeah, there you go. You're fine, you're fine. That's all right. You just get there, okay? Take your time, wait, we're gonna wait on Dr. Council to come in here.
I'm trying to get him in.
And get everybody in.
Yes. Perfect. Count of three. 1, 2, 3. And one more. 1, 2.
Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Congratulations on that achievement. I know that takes a lot of hard work, but we appreciate the work you do at the Board of Elections to ensure we have safe and fair elections, so thank you. At this time, we'll go ahead and move to item F, on recognizing the 6th cohort of the Cumberland County Ignite Internship Program. County Manager Greer.
Yes, Dominique Hall, Human Resources Director, will present the 6th cohort of the Ignite Internship Program.
Where's the music? Where's the music?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening.
On May 29th, Cumberland County launched a 6th cohort of the Ignite Internship Program. The cohort consists of college, undergraduate, and graduate students and high school students. The county received over 200 applications and ultimately hired and onboarded a combination of 34 college and high school students. The following interns are placed in various county departments to complete their 10-week summer internship. And before I recognize them, I would like to read off the certificate. It's the certificate of recognition. This certificate is proudly presented.
Hold on one second. We're trying to get everybody organized. Why don't y'all go ahead and just come into the well?
Yeah.
Go ahead, ma'am. First, come into the well.
Go around.
Come all the way into the well. There you go. There you go.
There you go.
No, come over here.
Back all the way back.
All the way back. There you go.
They're going to come get certificates, so I think they're trying to
That's all
come
right.
to the front.
Lisa,
There's a lot of
I know, come to the front
fine.
and let the rest of them get behind you since you're the alphabetical. Yeah. Now the next row go behind. And the next row go behind. Make a row, make a row, make a row.
we should have let them
Make
come in.
another row. Okay.
There you go.
So while
Now
we
got
have them
it.
getting organized, I would like to recognize parents because we have a lot of parents in the room. Can you parents? If you will, parents, just stand where you are. Just stand and wave where you are. Also, department managers that have interns, if you could wave your hands, I thank you also for just accepting us because the program wouldn't be anything if we didn't have anywhere to place them. And the sheriff, thank you. Okay, the certificate of recognition reads, this certificate is proudly presented to intern's name. You have been selected from a competitive applicant pool based on your potential, achievements, and commitment to personal and professional growth. This marks the beginning of a journey focused on leadership, service, innovation, and professional growth. We're proud to welcome you to a program designed to ignite potential, foster talent, and inspire future public service leaders. Congratulations and welcome to the Ignite family. And I'm about to present certificates if we have someone that wants to present. Commissioner with me?
Commissioner Adams, please go to the podium. I know you're getting ready to get up.
You know these are mine.
Oh, hold on now. I was there for the kickoff.
That's right.
Okay. We have Julian Alvarado, Joshana Bethay, Kendrea Broussard, Ace Brown, Patience Collins, Talia Council, Freddie Cox, Soleil Decker, Hannah Frankert, Finn French, Karina George, Carson Gower, Joshua Graves, Jordan Hawkins, Lena Hinderrocker, Michaela Henderson, Ava Jesus, Crystal Jones, Nathaniel Keller, Cody Leach, Mariah Lewis Petway, Micah Lindberg, Sarah Lutka, Anaya Merritt, Garrett Pfeiffer, Kyle Schoeniger, Rihanna Simmons, Bryson Smith, Hannah Stefanko, Samuel Washington, Justin Williams, Giselle Young, and Emma Zilka. We made it. Go back around in your rows. Your names doesn't matter now. Just your name in the alphabetical order doesn't matter. Just get ready for the picture.
Now you guys can come all the way back.
Take directions from the woman with the camera.
If you're taller, just go to. You guys can come all the way back. Come back. Perfect. And if you can't see me, I can't see you. So windows, perfect. Okay. Now you scoop this way just a little bit. Yes. Okay. Can you all? I can't see you. I need you to swap. Yes. Come near me. Come in some more. Yes. Commissioner Tyson. Okay. Count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And one more. 1, 2, 3.
Okay,
Perfect.
don't move. If I talk for you.
So the parents can get a picture.
Okay, parents, go.
All right, parents, we good? All right, thank you. Commissioners, any comments?
Mr. Chairman, before they leave.
You're recognized, Commissioner Adams.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I want to thank Dominique Hall and her staff. You know, you get 200 applications, and this is what you come up with. And I know the chairman spoke with you all, but I always tell you, you are the top. You know, when you talk about 200 and you all are here, that lets you know how impressive you all are. And that's what happens in this community. And I just want the community to know, I'm going to be quick, Mr. Chairman. In my day job, I'm an attorney. So one of the things that happen is that kids go off to college and they come home and they don't have a whole lot to do. And sometimes they get in with some of their friends that were here and get in trouble. I had a client that did that. He was outstanding at college, came home, riding with a friend. They drive up to a store and the friend goes in and robs it, and he gets in trouble. So I think this board was, we're going to give you something to do that's productive, that we don't have that. We don't have that free time to be able to get in trouble. So I want to thank this board for being able to fund this, because this is tremendous. I know we do this. Mid-Carolina, the city did that. They had over 1,000 applications for their program. Just shows you the need that, you know, people talk about your generation and where we're headed. you know, I am excited for what you all do. You all are far advanced than, you can see the gray here. Y'all multitask. Y'all can do all of that. I am extremely proud of what you all do and what y'all are going to do for this county. And the last thing is, you know, for you all, so that you all know, we've hired people out of this program to work for the county because one of the other things, parents, is to try to keep them home. That's right. Get them back to Fayetteville. I've got 4 kids and none of them are here. And that just hurts my heart every day. So hopefully you all will see that you like county government, municipal government, and come back here, right here to Cumberland County and stay at home. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir, Commissioner Adams. Other commissioners, comments? Commissioner Tyson, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you all again for coming. And it's so good to see so many of the best and brightest of the county come out, and look forward to seeing y'all throughout your journey and as you become young professionals and work in this community. Thank y'all.
Y'all hold tight. We're not done yet. Everybody wants to speak, so give us one more second if you'll give us a second. Vice Chairman Jones, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to say I want to thank Dominique Hall and her staff as well. But I also want to thank you all because the choices and decisions that each and every one of you leaders here today make today, it does impact your future and it impacts your tomorrow. So just know that the leadership choice that you chose to make by being in this program and getting your certificate, that is just one of many milestones and goals that you accomplish. So I want to thank you all, the next generation, for making the wise choices and decisions that you make. And again, the choices that you make today impact your future tomorrow. So you're on the right track. Each and every one of you are leaders. Congratulations. This is one of many awards that I know each and every one of you will receive throughout your journey. So congratulations.
Thank you so much. Congratulations, and thank you. And parents, thank you for allowing your kids to participate, your children to participate. And again, congratulations on the internship program. And hopefully, again, you take something away from this and you've got the ability to long-term stay right here in Cumberland County. It's a great place to live. And Ms. Hall, Director Hall, next year we talked about that board intern, right? Yes, sir. All right. I mean, Commissioner Adams wants to make sure that's in there. Thank you so much. Thank you. Congratulations. We'll go ahead and let them exit the chamber. I know there will be some parents that will be leaving as well. Just want to remind people we do have overflow, and so we do have some additional seats in here now if people want to make their way. I know we're still moving towards a public comment period and then a public hearing. While I'm letting them make their way out, I just want to recognize we have someone else in a hot seat tonight. So Attorney Rob Hasty is sitting in our attorney seat tonight, so we appreciate him being here and helping us out tonight. Thank you. All right. We'll go ahead and move to the public comment period. At this time, I'll call on County Manager Greer to provide the board rules and procedures for public comment period.
The public comment period procedures are as follows. Public comment period shall last no longer than 15 minutes. Time may be extended at the discretion of the board. Each speaker will have a maximum of 3 minutes to make remarks until the 15-minute limit is attained. No time may be yielded by another speaker to another speaker. Speakers will be acknowledged by the board in the order in which their names appear upon the sign-up sheet. Speakers will address the board from the lectern and begin their remarks by stating their name and address. Public comment is not intended to require the board to answer any impromptu questions. Speakers will not discuss matters regarding the candidacy of any persons seeking public office. Speakers will be courteous in their language and presentation. Personal attacks will not be tolerated. Written comments and/or supporting documents may be left with the clerk to the board.
Thank you, County Manager Greer. Madam Clerk, how many speakers do we have tonight?
We have 15 speakers.
All right. We'll go ahead and allow, as I tend to do, unless there's objection, allow people their time to speak. This is it's your government, so you have the opportunity to speak. I just ask you to be respectful of others' time as well. This time, we'll go ahead and open the public comment period. And Madam Clerk, if you'll call the first speaker.
Angelina Smith.
Madam Clerk-
Angelina Smith.
She may be in the overflow. Madam Clerk, will you call the next speaker?
Sherry Watts. Sherry Watts.
Madam Clerk, if you call the next speaker.
Patrick Locklear. Patrick Locklear.
Madam Clerk, will you call the next speaker?
Diana McDaniel. Diana McDaniel.
And just to confirm, we are ensuring that there is audio in the overflow room, so if they're in there, they will hear it. Madam Clerk, will you call the next speaker?
Carol Olinger.
One step back. Forward together. Not one step back. You show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Hi, y'all.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening. Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you fine.
You can hear me?
There you go.
can hear
Perfect.
me. I'm Carol Olinger, and I'm going to be short. I want to talk about the water and data centers. I want to start with, I live in Hope Mills, or Grays Creek, and we are polluted with PFAS. It's a forever chemical that is in our water. It is in the Cape Fear. You need to know that when you are thinking about building, expanding, and doing all those kinds of things. Please consider a moratorium, a pause for data centers, because data centers, as we know, brings high electric bills. It messes with the land. It messes with the water, because we don't know what chemicals they're going to add to the water to cool whatever machines that are going to be in those buildings. We don't want to add more pollutant to the water that we have to drink out. That's what we all need. Please consider the moratorium. Think about, really do the research, not a rubber stamp kind of thing, like check it out for yourselves. You live here too. You need the water just as much as we need the water, right? That's what I think. So I just wanted to share that. I'm not even going to use all of my time because you have lots of other speakers that want to speak. So I just wanted to say that. Please consider a real moratorium. Do the work for real. Compare the data with other, it's going on all over North Carolina. Please look at that and think about the water, because we all need that. The PFAS is a forever chemical, and I am repeating myself, and that we can't get rid of that. And after you're contaminated or infected, whether it's kidney disease, dialysis, thyroid, birth defects, some of those things you can't change, but we can slow it down. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Madam Clerk, please call the next speaker.
Janine Ackles.
Good evening. I'm
Good
Janine.
evening.
I'm Janine Ackles. Sorry. I'm Janine Ackles, 1684.
Ma'am, you don't need to give your address unless you want to. It's already recorded with the clerk, so I want to be protective of that if you don't feel like it.
Oh, no problem. Okay. I'm here today with a delegation from Cedar Creek. Would you all kind of yell just a minute, let them know you're here? We are here because we are asking questions and accountability for the PFAS that is in the water in those areas. And we just have some questions, and we just want just answers and more information given to us. Questions like how many private wells in Cedar Creek have been tested for PFAS and how many have tested above the safe levels? Questions like that. Will the county commit to helping every Cedar Creek resident get their well tested, not just those who know how to request it, because that seems to be an issue. We want to know historically why Cedar Creek has been skipped over, and one of the issues being that it's a low-income area versus some of the other areas that have received help before now. We also want to know we want to know more about this $500,000 grant that we've received, and why will it take 4 years to do the study. We want to know the information. We want to stay in the loop. We also want to make sure that we ask of you if we can have at least 90-day meetings or town halls so that we can all stay abreast of the things that are happening with the water situation. So those are just some of the things that we want to ask you to do. We're just asking for accountability. We're not saying anybody's doing anything right or wrong, but we do want answers because we've gone way too long, and just letting you know Cedar Creek water matters as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, will you call the next speaker?
Lisa Bula White. Hi, my name is Lisa Bula White, and I'm already loud, so I'm going to step back. When I Google Cumberland County PFAS, I immediately see Grace Creek. Nowhere do I see anything about Cedar Creek. So I'm here tonight to just stress the point that Cedar Creek water matters. And we want to just find out what we can do as a community to assist you to make sure that we get our needs met, that, you know, we get the water tested. One of my, just as my colleague spoke about, we have, 4 years to get the testing seems a little excessive to me. I would like to know what we can do to decrease that timeline, and if there is anything that we can do as a community, again, to assist in that. The other thing is, we'd like to know where that so-called $500 grant, where that money was spent on and where it went to. And I know I was directed when I asked this question at one time to the Cumberland County website, but it doesn't give, details. So if you guys could, somebody at some point, just make a mental note, please, that we'd like to know where that is. And basically, we'd like to find a way to have, as she said, maybe 90-day meetings, just something so that we are, communicating about the issues. We're able to get that communication out so that everybody knows, not just, a select group. So I'm here to say if there's anything that I can do to assist my community to get our wells tested, to get the proper water that we need, all you got to do is say the word. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Madam Clerk, we call the next speaker.
Christy O'Quinn Davis.
Hi, I'm Christy
Hello.
Davis. Technically, I live in Eastover, but I'm concerned about a possible site for a data center that is 300 feet, like from the town limit. It's 1.1 mile from my property. My property tax last year with the revaluation tripled, and I don't mind paying because the quality of life where I live is so beautiful. I have control of my little 3 acres. The neighbors are great. The birds sing and everything's nice. We have a culvert, so if the EMP ever comes and hits Fort Bragg, I can get some kind of water. And I'm planting my garden. I'm trying to be self-sufficient and keep my nose to the grindstone. But then I find out, and you go up the road, and everybody keeps saying Custer Avenue. The PWC power plant is on Custer Avenue, but behind the plant is where they're going to build the data center, and I can see, they haven't cut the trees down yet. You can see through there. They have bulldozers, big trucks. They've already put so many potholes in my road going back and forth. Something's going on. And I was assured at the Wade Town Hall that they have no permits, and, you know, we can't just tell people what to do on their land. But it's just very scary. I'm coming because I was a music educator for 35 years. I worked over 30 years for the state of North Carolina. I went 4 years overseas, and I didn't know I was going to speak tonight, or I would not have worn my pie T-shirt. But it's a great place. Go see it. Because I know so much about sound, the noise levels are what's I'm really concerned about. These days, sound can be used to heal. People get their kidney stones treated with sound. You get an ultrasound to see how your baby's going to look. They've even started using it to treat cancer cells. Well, if sound can work for all these good things, it can also work for bad things. And now that I've got the algorithm on the phone, I see all these things about data centers from Texas where the cows are having stillbirths, and the sound is really giving people headaches and stuff like that. I can even hear in those big electrical wires, you can hear it singing up there if you listen. And because it's quiet where I live, you can hear it. We already have a gas pipeline coming through our area. They've cut huge swaths of trees, dead animals all over the road because they have nowhere to go. Anyway, that's the main thing. Any type of barrier won't protect me. I'm 1 mile away. I will hear that drone forever. I don't know if you know, elephants, the reason they can migrate is because the sound travels through the land and they pick it up through their feet. I'm sure cows work the same way, and eventually it goes to us. We work the same way. On top of that, of course, everybody knows the air and water issues. And even I saw on the thing that they sent that it has to be a closed water system, but they do have to flush sometimes, and where will the water go? I was just, one sentence, there's really, to me, no positive side for data centers. The job creation is minimal. The tax exempt status won't help the community. It adds surveillance, all the pollutions, and we did an invocation here. We talked about how God saved that premature baby. God also says to be good stewards of your environment. So I'm not asking a moratorium. I'm asking a total ban. Nobody needs this in their backyard.
Thank you, ma'am.
Please,
Thank you, ma'am.
please consider this.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sorry I went over. Thank you so much.
Ma'am. Thank you. Madam Clerk, please call your next speaker.
Stella King. Stella King.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Chairman
Good
and
evening.
board.
Good evening.
Okay.
There you go.
My name is Stella King. I am here as a member of the Cedar Creek community, and we do have some questions. Our water supply is poison. And my main question is, why do we have to wait so long? And my next question is, you came down 53 and made a sharp left to Seabrook School to get the water supply there correct. Why didn't you come on down 53 and ask questions there? And if you're going to give the students at Seabrook School good water, then they have to go home and get poison again. So my main question is, why is it taking so long, and the progression of the study that you say you're doing? Those are my questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. King. Madam Clerk, will you call the next speaker?
Francis Brunson.
Good evening, Chair and Board.
Good evening.
I am also a part of the Cedar Creek community, and I wanted to talk about the PFAS today. In 2020, 6 April interview, you all with City View, the commissioners said that you felt that the state was not sufficiently made the chemical company to comply with obligations to assist after contaminating our water. So what I want to know now is, what we do know, and we've heard that it's going to take 4 years for a study for our water. So what we want to know, so not 4 years, well, just what we heard, and what we saying, what we heard. But what I want to know and what we want to know is, what are you going to do in the meantime, in between time? So with that chemical coming, any sanctions, anything going to be done with those companies to stop further contaminating our water? Are they going to be held liable? Or is anything going to be done? Is anything going to be, so they cannot dump that water, those chemicals in our water? Because the state gives them a certain amount of water to dump. Chemicals to dump in the water, and we all do. Well, if you don't know, that's what they do. But is anybody fighting for us for that? Until this study is done, and that's all. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, ma'am. Madam Clerk, please call the next speaker.
Jaden Gutierrez.
Hi. My name is Jaden, and I'm here today to talk about the AI water problem. AI is great and can be used to help with a lot of things, including homework, helping with the high Wi-Fi, building toys, etc., etc. But we have one big issue: water usage. AI uses up lots of water, and it's bad because my grandma was affected by it. Because a few years ago, she drank dirty water and is now in dialysis regularly. And I don't want this cycle to be repeated daily in the foreseeable future. I want to be active with my grandma, have fun, and so I won't have trouble breathing or even to walk. And there's one way to fix AI for me, and I think it's hard, but it's possible about recycling water.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, please call the next speaker.
Tyrone Davis.
My name is Tyrone Davis, and my topic is about clean water for our survival in Grays Creek. Artificial intelligence uses 17 billion gallons of water each day. 17 billion gallons of water each day. If we keep using AI for non-important uses, life isn't going to be able for us to maintain. Because of the main water that the machines use is groundwater. And if we keep taking water from this specific area, we won't be able to have plant life to eat.
Anything else? Thank you, sir. Madam Clerk, will you call the next speaker?
Iris Hoffman.
Hi. My cause isn't as great as theirs, but I'm here to ask a few questions about planning and zoning, about permitting in Cumberland County. Just recently, well, not real recently, about a year and a half ago, I bought into a commercial property off Cedar Creek, and initially we were given a permit to put electric in our building, and then we got 4 estimates from roof contractors, and then when our roofer went to get a permit, they denied it. Our electrician already put the electric to the building, charging us $5,000 for the electric, and then we weren't allowed to use it because there was no roof on the building. So We don't understand why they didn't have to come out and look to see that there was no roof on the building before that initial permit was given. It would have saved us a lot of money. And now we were told that there's no site plan for our property. But I don't understand why there's no site plan ever in existence for that property since it's been there since the 1940s. And so we're tasked with giving a site plan that will allow us to start somewhere in order to get permits to fix up our building. We don't know where to start. We don't know what to do. We've had some help with some good people in the planning area, and we've not had help with some people that work there, unfortunately. We are looking for a structural engineer or an architect to sign off because our contractors' words aren't good enough that they can shore up the walls and put a roof on the building. We don't know where to look for these folks. The only places that I can find them are in Riley, Wilmington, Charlotte, and they want to charge different prices than the prices that our local contractors can charge us to put a roof on, to sign off on our building. So I actually was coming here hoping for help that maybe you all might know, some structural engineers or architects that live in the area that would be willing to help local small businesses get their foot forward with this community. That's all.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Madam Clerk, will you call the next speaker?
Those are our last speakers. We had 2 speakers that signed up twice, but we only allow 1 speaking each night.
All right. At this time, I will close public comment period. And commissioners, before we move forward, any comments? Vice Chairman Jones, you're recognized.
I just want to thank our citizens for coming out and being involved, and I would like to charge to this board to see hopefully soon and very soon in the near future as we hear the outcry that Cedar Creek, most definitely so that we can ensure facts from fiction, I would like to see if this board would take the responsibility to give direction to our manager and our staff to see about effective as soon as possible scheduling a town hall out in the Cedar Creek area, identifying the venue out in that area so that the questions that were held tonight, we can responsibly have the right individuals to answer those questions at the appropriate time, as tonight was to listen. I feel if we go into their community at Cedar Creek, and if the staff can find a proper, appropriate location, that way we can have the interest of our community that we no doubt want to make sure that all areas of Cumberland County are safe to provide a town hall. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Tyson, you're recognized. Commissioner Tyson, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to thank each and every one of you for coming out tonight to speak on this issue. I hope that you see that the board is taking your input and has moved in a very deliberate, very methodical way as we look at this policy moving forward. Wanted to speak a little bit to the water piece. I know, coming onto this board, we had a good foundation of moving towards a clean and safe drinking water for our elementary schools in Grace Creek. But since this board has been seated, we have been very deliberate about planning for water and sewer within this county. And what we quickly realized was that we're lagging woefully behind our peer counties in developing this critical infrastructure. So just know we're moving at the speed that government can move to look to provide clean, safe drinking water to all of our residents. And that's a goal and initiative that this board has pushed since I've been here and since the rest of us have been seated. So thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner Tyson. Any other commissioners? Thank you, and again, thank you to our speakers. Thank you to all the speakers that came out. And just as a point, we have had a couple different community meetings around the formations of water districts. There was one out in Cedar Creek, as well as out in Stedman. We plan to have more. Our commitment is to continue to communicate. That's why we sent the letter to DEQ to compel them to do their job. We've also asked our legislators, so I'd encourage you to ask your legislators to assist us with those actions as well. And we'll continue to do our role, but we will continue to look to communicate with and work with the citizens to make sure they have the information we all need so we stay informed with accurate information on what's happening with engineering studies and timeframes and those types of things. I just want to make sure I attended an informal, it was not a county session, and we are glad to schedule additional county sessions so that we can ensure accurate information is presented. At this time, we'll go ahead and move forward. Vice Chairman Jones, you have something else, or was that your light still on? You're recognized.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. If it is okay with the board, I don't want to put any pressure, but all these people did come out here today, and they seem to be very concerned. I know there was a town hall a little bit further out in Stedman, so perhaps maybe closer proximity into Cedar Creek. Is the board okay with giving direction to the staff to see about when possibility the staff can see about planning, since we did already have one that was further out near Stedman, planning a town hall? I like to be of action, as I'm sure, as Commissioner Tyson stated, the board is making sure that all this is done. So I would like for us to give direction to see about the staff as soon as possible. I know we're in budget, but perhaps we can get something put together at least by July to ensure that I can understand the frustration that the opportunity of these that came today, these citizens that did not get to go out further in Stedman, can maybe a different location inwards, that we can see about giving direction for them to see about putting something in place for July, budget to be over hopefully by then, so that these citizens can get some answers to their questions.
And thank you, Vice Chairman. That's a great point. We are in the works now. The staff is already working on additional community meetings out in these areas around our water district, as well as other information in July and August. So we've held one out in Tabor Church Road. We've also held one in Stedman. We will continue to have secondary meetings in these areas in July and August, so that's upcoming.
Can we make them a priority for the July meeting?
They're already being planned right now for the July and August meeting, Vice Chairwoman. Commissioner Adams, you're recognized.
Mr. Chairman, and I will say that we did have one down in Cedar Creek. Sometimes the issue becomes, and it's always the issue, is how you get the word out to everybody. And so even tonight, I think we would tell everybody, at least with our PIO, they're doing an excellent job, but always look on our website. They're there, but everybody's not on Facebook. Everybody's not on social media. So I tell you, if you hear it, tell your neighbor, because it is difficult. This is a huge county, 360,000 people. It just makes it difficult. But we did hold one down in Cedar Creek, and they talked, even the people that came talked about the difficulties of them finding out about the meeting. And so if you have some suggestions of how to get that to everybody in Cedar Creek, that's it. Well, not just Cedar Creek, everywhere across the county. We're trying our best to do it, but it is difficult. And so bear with us, and we're trying our best to make sure that gets out to everyone. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner Adams. Okay, at this time, we're going to go ahead and move forward. We've already approved the agenda. We've already approved the consent agenda with the change. So at this time, we'll go ahead and move forward to our public hearings. County Manager Greer, if you'll provide the board rules and procedures for public hearings.
Give me 1 second, Chairman. Yes, the public hearing procedures are as follows. Arguments by the proponents and opponents should be limited to a maximum of 10 minutes for each side. If there is no group representative, each speaker shall be allotted a maximum of 3 minutes until the 10-minute time period is attained. Rebuttals will only be permitted at the discretion of the chairman, with a maximum of 1 3-minute presentation by each side.
Thank you, County Manager Greer. We'll go ahead and move to item A, issuance of not to exceed issuance of tax-exempt bonds to finance health care facilities for benefit of Cape Fear Valley Health System. County Manager Greer, you're recognized.
Yes, as Cape Fear Valley is issuing debt for finance various facilities on their campus. Tonight we have to hold a public hearing that's required by technically the Internal Revenue Service. Additionally, we have here today to present the public hearing and answer any questions you may have. We have Brett Johnson here, CFO of Cape Fear Valley Health, and then we also have Charles Boyer with Robinson Bradshaw. I will turn it over to them to present and answer any questions you may have.
Good evening, Commissioners.
Good evening.
I won't take too much of your time talking about federal tax law because it's not everyone's favorite subject, but sorry, it's everyone but there's one person's favorite subject.
Stay on your toes.
It's one of my favorite subjects. It's my career. But we're asking, because basically it's in the agenda, but the main thing is Section 147F of the Internal Revenue Code requires tax-exempt bonds issued for the benefit of a 501c3 organization be approved by a governmental unit having jurisdiction over the area in which the facility to be financed or refinanced is located. Cape Fear Valley Medical Center is located in this county. We've ran by the resolution that follows the hearing with both the county attorney and the county manager. It's procedural in nature. The main takeaway for the county is what's actually in the resolution. That says the resolution states, "In no event shall the county or any political subdivision thereof be liable for such bonds, nor shall such bonds constitute a debt of the county or any political subdivision thereof." This is a federal tax law requirement and a requirement of the authorities issuing the bonds. It's all more broken down in the agenda, and we're happy to answer any questions, but that's the main.
Commissioners, questions before we move to open the public hearing? Seeing none, at this time, I will go ahead and open the public hearing. Madam Clerk, do we have any speakers?
There are no speakers.
This time, I will close the public hearing. Commissioners, additional questions or comments? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion. Commissioner Faircloth, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. At this time, I would move that we approve the resolution approving the issuance of the bonds and the financing of the project for the limited purposes set forth above.
Second the motion.
We got a motion to approve the resolution that approves the issuance of the bonds, the tax-exempt bonds to finance healthcare facilities. Is there any, it's been properly seconded. Any questions or comments on the motion? Seeing none, I'll ask for your vote. All in favor, raise your right hand.
Unanimous.
Thank you, sir. We'll go ahead and move to item B, issuance of tax-exempt bonds for the benefit of Centurion Foundation Melrose Road LLC.
Additionally, Commissioners, this public hearing is just like the first one for additional property located on the campus of the Cape Fear Valley Medical Center. Again, Brett Johnson, CFO for Cape Fear Valley Health, and Charles Boyer with Robinson Bradshaw will present this item and in answering questions you may have.
Again, Commissioners, this is the same requirement for a different project. If you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them. We submitted the resolution and went over this with the county attorney and the county manager, and public notice was published in the Fayetteville Observer.
Commissioners, questions on this item before I open the public hearing? Seeing none, this time I'll go ahead and open the public hearing. Madam Clerk, are there any speakers?
There are no speakers.
This time I will close the public hearing. Commissioners, any other questions on this item? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion. Commissioner Faircloth, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This time I would move to approve the financing of the project through the issuance of bonds by the authority in accordance with Section 162-S10(1) of the New Hampshire statutes. The resolution states that in no event shall the county or any political subdivision thereof be liable for such bonds, nor shall the bonds constitute a debt on the county or any political subdivision thereof.
Second.
We've got a motion to approve the tax-exempt bonds as outlined in the motion. It's been properly seconded. Any discussion on that motion or comments? Seeing none, I'll ask for your vote. All in favor, raise your right hand.
Unanimous.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Commissioner.
This time, we'll go ahead and move to case ZON 260012, calling County Manager Greer to introduce the item.
Yes, this is a rezoning request to move from R6A residential to C1P Planned Local Business District. Ross Howard, Director of Planning and Inspection, will present this item and answer any questions you may have. Ross?
Thank you very much, Mr. Greer.
Real quick, before you start, Director Howard, Commissioner Patel, you recognize.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I believe that is a different case, Mr. Manager.
0012?
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's A1 to R30.
Yes, A1 to R30. I'm sorry, I clicked the wrong one. Let me start over. Rezoning request from A1 to R30 Residential District.
Good
Director
evening.
Howard, I knew you'd have it straight.
There you go. So the case that's here before you this evening, the first one is case ZON 260012. As you can see by the highlighted star on the map, this is located in our furthest southwestern region of the county, down, if you want to look just west of Highway 87, south of I-95 in that quadrant down by County Line Road. The owner is Lydia Rozier. The applicant and agent is Kenneth Smith Jr. The request is to go from A1 agriculture to R30. The intent is for some residential homes out there on 46.3 acres, which does include, as you can see, on the red cross-hatched area here. Let me see if I can get the arrow. It includes this small parcel here that's also encapsulated by this other parcel here. But you can see, for those that are familiar with the area, there's Yarborough Road, Fire Department Road, and then here's County Line Road down here. So it sits right there on that track. This is the surrounding area. It's largely single family. You have one batch of manufactured homes, but for the most part, this is like a little pocket of some single family areas that are out in this particular part of the county. This is the colorization of the zoning map. You can see it's largely surrounded by A1 agricultural and R40. You don't see a whole lot of R30 in this immediate area, but for the most part, this is, I would say, is made up of larger lots and farming properties. It's just a picture of the site. This is located in the Grays Creek Water and Sewer District. There is water that is located down here, as you can see, but for the most part, a lot of this is on well and septic. When staff took a look at this and tried to weight it against the plans, it is within the South Central Area Land Use Plan, which was adopted in 2015, which calls for farmland. You can see some of the farmland goals there about trying to preserve and protect farmland, but at the same time trying to provide a range of residential housing types that accommodate the needs of preserving the character of the area and so forth and so on. However, based on that, the request is not consistent with the adopted land use plan, as the accepted districts in that type of designation are A1 and R40 for the most part. This is the subject property, as you can see. This is standing on Fire Department Road. This is the south view with the site immediately on the right-hand side. You can see the sign out there for public notification purposes. This is the east view, or otherwise just looking right across the street from the subject site. And this is the north view with the site immediately on the left-hand side. When staff had reviewed this, we do recommend denial of the request based off of the plan consistency. We took this to the planning board where they had a split vote of 5-3 to approve it. I think some of the general concerns also were the density as well too, for the most part, but that's the vote that came out of the meeting. So if you have any questions, I'll try to be able to answer what I can.
Commissioners, before we go to the public hearing, are there questions for Director Howard? Commissioner Tyson, you recognize.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a couple questions on the staff report, some of the information contained, and some perceived inconsistencies with some information the board has. I just want some clarification. So I noticed you did put school capacity and enrollment numbers in your staff report. Those numbers seem to be inconsistent with the report we received from the school system on the MGT study. So I just wanted to know kind of where that source of that enrollment figures was, because there is a discrepancy.
Yeah, so those numbers come directly from the Cumberland County School System, so that there's a planner on their staff, and these are live figures that are adjusted almost on I would think like a weekly or a monthly basis. So, I mean, when we send out for all of our review for all the agencies, we get everybody, including the school system, and they're the ones that provide those figures to us.
Okay. If I can follow up.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And then under again in your report under development potential, we see that there's the existing zoning that has the dwelling count, and then the proposed zoning that has the dwelling count, which seems to be inconsistent with the comments that were given at the meeting relating to the intended density. the report suggests that it would allow up to 67 dwelling units. The comments given back at the meeting was planned for 50 to 52. Trying to understand, one, the difference between that and the methodology you used to come up with that section of the report.
Sure, yeah, so for the most part, that's a gross aggregate, you know what I mean? So we just look at what the size of the tract is, and we kind of put that against what the allowable lot sizes would be as we push that through our ordinance, and we just give you an aggregate number. What the applicant has given you, I should point out, this is not a conditional zoning, so we have to plan for what ultimately could be there, whether it's this applicant or the next person right after. So we're going to put the aggregate of what could go on the property. It's not a lockdown figure because you have to put roads and other sorts of things in there, but that's just as an aggregate giving somebody the idea of how much you could put on there. Now, if you're seeing 50 to 53, that's what the applicant is offering up, but again, we can't guarantee that because this is not a conditional zoning and there's no site plan that's attached to the request.
So it's fair to say that yours is more of a gross number just based on the zoning without any entitlements or reporting or any additional work to see how much the site can actually yield. Would that be a fair assessment?
I would say that's probably a fair assessment. We do try to account, as it's noted in the chart down below, that we try to round and we try to account for that accordingly. But yeah, it's more or less a gross figure of what could be put on the property, yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, I'm going to yield back with one request to the chair. As we get these reports, we have now started implementing some water and sewer planning throughout the county, and it would be, I think it would be prudent to incorporate some of that data, request that the county manager incorporate some of that data into the staff report so we can look to see our future water and sewer development plans incorporated into that as we look to make these decisions. And I yield back, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Tyson. Commissioner Patel, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Before we hear from the applicant, and I just have some quick questions on staff's recommendation or going through our packet. I know the South Central Land Use Plan was adopted in 2015. I believe we're working on updating that currently, correct?
That's the next one, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So when do you think that would be completed? And as we move into the new plan, given that the old plan's a little over a decade old, are there any substantial changes that you'd be looking at based on how the county's kind of developed over the last 10 years?
Okay. So the first question I heard is when we are anticipating completion. So we're looking at probably summer, fall of '27. So we're just wrapping up the Hope Mills, and that should be coming to you actually within the next 30 days or so, or 60 days. And staff has already started the data collection and go ahead and put together the framework for the next one. So I'm thinking summer of next year. And then the second part of your question, I want to make sure that I understand correctly. You were saying, are there some major changes that we're anticipating? I like to say it's a sausage making process. Like you never know what you're going to get. You put it in, it churns it out, and then what the citizens and everybody out there are just going to give us their feedback as to what it is. I'm not anticipating some major changes, but just keep in mind that this is one of our higher growth areas for the county, and then some areas in the northern part that are closer to Harnett. We're seeing a lot of activity in this area, so I'm anticipating it's probably not going to be exactly like what you're seeing it right now. But that's just my assumption right now at a very early stage of this process.
Thank you, Director. Mr. Chairman, I have one more question. Then this may be for the county manager for county engineering, but as we work on our water districts and getting water out to the community, do you have any idea when our anticipation when water could be out to this site for development?
I would say I would probably try to revert maybe to the manager. If that's okay, Mr. Manager.
or Assistant Manager Phillips, County Manager.
Yes. Sorry.
I would just say it's going to be at least 2 to 3 years. We're working with PwC on some items to be brought forth in a future date, but I would say at the earliest it would be 2 to 3 years.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That's all my questions for right now.
Thank you, Commissioner Patel. Vice Chairman Jones, you're recognized.
Yes, I do have a few questions. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I guess my concern is, because I was looking over all the information.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, is this particular home, someone is living in this particular home, correct? Or are they not? Are they not living? The
I
home
believe
that-
somebody is living on, there's
Okay.
nobody living there? You're saying, I mean, yeah, so the applicant is saying that there is somebody living on the property.
Okay, and that is the particular person that's wanting to, it sounds like that the woman you named earlier, she is the owner of this home, correct?
Ms. Rozier? I
Yeah,
think
Ms.
her name-
Rozier.
Mhm.
Okay, it's Ms. Rozier, I know a lot of community people. I guess my concern is that if Ms. Rozier is trying to sell her land,
Mm-hmm.
is this woman a senior? Or does anybody know?
I've been dealing strictly with the applicant, and to be honest with you.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest, the only reason why I have a concern with this is that because some of the information that I'm reading is stating that it is consistent with the nearby lots, and we're talking about houses, and I'm just gonna be honest, if she is a senior, I guess my concern is sometimes you get older and you wanna sell your property, you worked hard all your life, 30, 20 years, we can't take the human element out of it, and then you're put in a situation when you wanna sell your home, there's all these stipulations on you, and you might need that money to take care of yourself. So I guess that was why I was asking that question, because I think that she is a senior, that's number one. And I just personally, as a homeowner, I don't like stipulations. If I want to sell my home and it's in compliant, I don't like the idea of, especially for our seniors, I might, don't want to go to a nursing home, and I could be sitting on a gold mine and worked all my life. And then because of, I'm off with the community, don't get me wrong, but then other things that can help everybody else out, although that's the purpose of buying your home and being a homeowner. Lord knows I own 3 houses, and if I get older, I don't want people telling me what I can sell or not sell, because it might be what I need for my livelihood. So I've got a concern because of the information I'm reading. It states that these typically lot sizes currently found around it meets the criteria. And if that's the case, respectfully, I'm all for the community, but I'm certainly for homeowners that buy your home, and if you want to sell your house or do whatever you want to do with it, especially if you're a senior, you want to help the community out, but I mean, you got to get some benefit out of your own home. I guess I have a concern that if it meets the criteria, I don't want to see a senior that may need this to keep her livelihood going have to be put in a position to help all of us young folks out and everybody else around her. What's the point of being a homeowner if you're going to be prohibited? But there's, guidelines from the, you all met the guidelines, you come and it says it meets the criteria, so other people get to tell you what to do with your property that might impact your livelihood. So I have a great concern, because either we got the wrong information, but this state says that it does meet the typical lots around it. So that would be, I'm gonna be just honest, I'm all for, other people living in their homes and doing all that, but homeowners have to have a right to continue to take care of themselves, especially if it means they might need to sell their home to do so. So I'm gonna have some concerns about that. Either, I guess that's my concern, is this accurate information or not? Because it states that the woman's property is in compliance, and that typically it says the things around it meets the criteria. And so I do trust the planning board that if they state that it does, I, in good faith, certainly, that's why you're a homeowner and living all your life and get older, don't want to hinder somebody and have to wait, you said 2 or 3 years to benefit others, but not yourself on property you own. So I want us to look at both points of views with that, especially because it sounds like this woman is older, and I have an issue with that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Vice Chairwoman. Other Commissioner Tyson, you have something before the hearing?
Yes, sir. Just
Round 2, yes, ma'am.
One more item.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, appreciate your indulgence. So, also, I noticed in the notes at the planning board, there was a lot of discussion around developments in the area, some of them being A1. Some of them may be taking advantage of the previous rules that were 0 lot line. And for the listening audience and those here, discuss the implications and what it means for 0 lot line so that we can all understand that and what effect that would have by not allowing that kind of development. What kind of effect that has on your zoning classifications?
Well, under the previous rules for 0 lot line, what it would allow you to do is to calculate the net density of what you would be able to otherwise have on that zoning district, and then would allow you administratively to be able to reduce your lots and still keep the same amount of home count. So, for example, if you were allowed 100, let's say like 100 homes on your lot under the A1 zoning, a 2 a unit per 2 acres, for example. If you're allowed 100 homes, you can still have 100 homes, but it would be reduced down, and they can, under the older rules, you could reduce it down as small as you could be able to get it. So you still have 100 homes, but you would have it on a much more condensed scale, smaller lots, and then I think the area that would otherwise be the leftover, in theory, would be put into some sort of a conservation or a permanent type of situation where it couldn't be built upon again. Right.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioners, anything else before we move to the public hearing? All right, seeing none, at this time, I'll go ahead and open the public hearing. Madam Clerk, are there any speakers?
We have 2 speakers, 1 in favor and 1 against. First speaker in favor of is Ken Smith.
Madam Clerk, if we can just keep track of the time so that we know the balance of time on each side.
Yes.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
Kenneth Smith, Smithside Consultants. I'm actually not the applicant. JFJ3 Investments is my client and the applicant for this. I'm just his engineer. Ms. Jones, to address your question, yes, Ms. Rozier is 88. She would like to get rid of her land specifically to my client. She's needing the money, yes. So to address the
Thank
zero
you for
lot
that
line.
information.
Yes, ma'am. To address the zero lot line question, Mr. Tyson, under the old zero lot line allowance, we would have gone with R40 had we still had that option and used it, and we could have gotten an attainable number of lots to make it work, and it would have been probably a recommendation based upon the future land use plan. Now, to kind of get into it a little bit further, this R30 rezoning is a straight rezoning request. We are asking it because we are no longer allowed the zero lot line as used to be interpreted several years back in the subdivision ordinance. The R30 will allow us to keep this project feasible. This request, if we get it, will allow us a 1.1 units per acre density, low 50 yield for the lot counts. Each would be 30,000 square feet or larger. That is about 3/4 of an acre. And if you take a look at Mount Vernon Estates and some of those to the south, some of those lots are around that when you deduct out the actual waterfront that they've got and all the pond area. I would recommend that you all kind of take a look further out than just what the original GIS shows as far as the zoning. Within about 2 miles of this area, there are areas that are RR, there's R20. Now granted, yes, some of them do have public utilities, but as many of you all on this commission are aware of, you're putting public water out there within the next couple of years, and you've already gotten some of the grant money to start that process. I want to go further into the actual farmland aspect. I know that may have been recommended. We had our soil scientists go out there and evaluate it for septic potential as well as any environmentally sensitive areas. We have all of that. It is excellent soils for septic. It does not have hardly any environmentally sensitive areas, and we would not develop within those. If we did, we would have to get an Army Corps permit in order to do so. Also, the farmland aspect, I've reached out personally to the farmer that's been tending it. He said, and I quote, "While Kenneth, we did appreciate Miss Rozier's land and using it, it was only good for hay and it did not yield well compared to the vast majority of tracts that man tends." In doing so, we've already had the site's boundary surveyed. We have the legal description handed over to county planning for it. The boundary is indicative and corroborates what the GIS shows more or less. The county fire marshal's office, we've already coordinated with them. Our design would be in compliance with NFPA 1142 as far as fire protection standards go, and NC Fire Code Appendix D. So I don't know if you have any other questions. DOT was good with what I had sent them.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We'll address your question. We'll address any questions to you once we close the public hearing. Thank you. Madam Clerk, will you call the next speaker?
Next speaker is in opposition, Anna Herron.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Mr.
Good evening.
Chairman and commissioners. I am a little concerned because there was another speaker in opposition, but y'all said there was only one that was opposing and one that was in favor. Anyways, I didn't know if y'all would be able to bend the rules and let her speak as well, but I will go ahead and speak. I do have something to hand to you.
If you will just pass to the clerk to your right.
So I attended the May 19th meeting for the joint planning board, and so I handed over a petition that had signatures upon it. And the map that you're seeing, what is highlighted is the landowner is in opposition to the rezoning. And what I did appreciate about the presentation that they gave is they went over the issues again, talking about how it goes against the current land use plan. And they gave all the statements about that. But we're already dealing with PFAS, and they say that they're going to have water out there in 2 to 3 years, but we just don't. That wasn't the timer, was it?
No.
Okay, I was like, oh my gosh. We're already dealing with PFAS, and I just feel like it's really irresponsible to go ahead and build in this area where we don't even have the water there yet. What's going to happen when you dig 50 wells? Because that's the current plan right now. Are they going to be contaminated wells? Are they going to go deep enough to bypass PFAS? We just don't really know what's going to happen with that. And it explicitly says in the South Central Land Use Plan, promote the concentration of development in areas with sufficient services such as water, sewer, roads, and nearby commercial establishments. So that's one of the big concerns that we have. Another issue is the schools. They brought up the numbers, but our schools are already at capacity. There's other buildings in the area that there's 600, I think, dwellings that are supposed to be going behind Dirtbag Ales. There's the neighborhoods that are supposed to be put up near the Walmart distribution center. Like, where are these kids going to go to school? Like, they're already at capacity. And I just worried that this is just not responsible. I don't have a problem with growth. Like, I don't have a problem with growth. But the issue is that it's not being planned out well enough. Like, you're going to build 50 houses and dig wells and septic systems when I know that Roslyn Farms, they have county water. It's a big development. They have the appropriate facilities. And this is just kind of we're kind of out in the middle of nowhere. And just to plop this neighborhood right there when everything around it is A1 and R40, it just feels misplaced. It just feels really out of character for the entire area. So I really would encourage y'all to vote no to this rezoning. He gave a very good speech for the rezoning, but if you look at that map, people are opposed to it. And the director right here does have my written petition.
Thank you, ma'am.
And then I would like to urge y'all to allow the other person to speak.
Ma'am, unfortunately, she has not signed up, and so
Okay.
we're unable to do that at this time.
Okay, I understand. Thank you all for your time.
Madam? Madam Clerk, are there any other speakers?
There are no other speakers.
No other speakers have signed up.
Correct.
Both sides got fair and equal time.
Yes, sir.
All right, at this time, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing. And Commissioners, I will open it back up for questions. Vice Chairman Jones, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate everybody speaking, and I've got to be quite transparent. I do have some great concerns, especially, I'm just going to be really honest. Like I said, when you're a homeowner and you're 88 years old, and I doubt he has any reason to get up here and be dishonest. My concern is sometimes we want to dismiss that up. We can't have our cake and eat it too. We all want to be able to buy our homes, and then when we get older, sometimes our families pass away, some don't want to be bothered, and then we feel like when we buy our homes that we're going to have that opportunity to take care of ourselves so we don't end up in a nursing home or out on the streets. And I know me, I'm just going to be honest, when I'm buying a home, I love my community, but I'm not thinking about that of the needs of taking care of everybody else while they're young and having their house. I'm going to be thinking about the needs of what I need to do when I get old to take care of myself. It's easier said than done when everyone's like, do this for me, make a sacrifice when they're not your family and they're not you. So I have a great concern about that because I don't want to confuse the listening audience, but we do have pros and cons both coming from the planning committee. And so that is what my major concern is, that we've already heard that no water is going to be out there for 2 or 3 years. So it sounds like we are asking asking an 88-year-old woman to make a big sacrifice. I mean, American dream, everyone says, is buy your home, and you can sell your house if you want to. God forbid if someone wants to throw you in a nursing home. But it sounds like to me, we're in a situation, although we say American dream, your property is yours and private and work hard, we say that, but it looks like she's in a situation, as he stated, she needs to sell her home, and people don't want her to sell it so that everyone else can benefit while we're young and free and all that. But I have a concern about this because I'm reading information that states just that the property indents and all this around it is feasible. So if that's the case in good faith, I can't see you work half your life. I don't know if she's going to live 2 to 3 more years, and I say that respectfully. If you're 88 years old and you worked hard and you have property, you are just as entitled as me and all these other people, young folks 18 and 20 years old, to live a good life. You don't have to be thrown in a nursing home anywhere. So I want us to really consider these matters. The man just said that she's selling because she needs to, have a living. And just because you're 88 doesn't mean you don't want to still live as long as you want to. And so the paperwork I'm seeing is the planning board is stating that she's in her legal rights. So in good faith and conscience, I hope that, Lord knows if I'm 88, God knows I hope that I can do what I want to do with my property if I work all my life. So it's a tough situation, but it isn't too tough for me to say that seniors deserve dignity, and they deserve, if you work that long and you want to sell your property so you can live a good life and not be in a nursing home, then I think that we need to take that in consideration. Who am I to tell her that she can't just because, your life still doesn't stop at 88. So I guess that's my concern. And then I respect what people are saying about 2 to 3 years we're going to have water out here. Meantime, and we have a housing shortage. Now, I know this is uncomfortable, and I'll be the one to put it out there. You're in the building, you do the building planning. Every time someone has to develop somewhere, everybody stands up here respectfully. Nobody wants it to be in their area. Nobody wants it to be in Grease Creek. Nobody wants it to be in Cedars Creek. I live out in West Fayetteville. Nobody wants development out there. But the reality is this. We have seniors that have the right to take care of themselves. We have a major, serious housing shortage in this community. Nobody wants to deal with or talk about that either, because nobody wants people to build in their area. I live out there, Jack Britt, beautiful area. Nobody really wants us to build more out there. So these are serious issues that take place. So for me, just my own opinion, like I stated, I'm glad the other gentleman spoke too. If you're 88 years old, now am I reading this correct or not? It states that the nearby area is in the appropriate means. So who am I to tell a homeowner that you can't continue to live as long as you want to, and you need to make a sacrifice for everybody else? You got to make a sacrifice for all of us because you're 88. We don't care how you, respectfully, how you got to make a living. So maybe I wouldn't be so concerned about it till someone got up here and told me that a senior, Lord knows if we're all lucky, we'll be able to be 88. And one senior, to me, is more than just enough. That might not mean nothing to anyone else, but my dad will be 86 years old and lives by himself. And served the veteran war. I don't know her story, but at the end of the day, how dare someone tell my father that he can't continue to live and sell his land, and he did all you say he's going to do, American dream, buy your house, and be able to take care of yourself. So I've got a concern about this case and how we treat our seniors that worked hard, buy their land, and then expect them to make sacrifice for everybody else. And one senior is one too many seniors as far as I'm concerned. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Vice Chairwoman. Commissioner Adams, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First question to you all is that I'm looking at the property. Is one way in, one way out?
Yes.
So we're going to put, it's a R30, so you can put 67 dwellings on this. After you do the roads and stuff, may be a little bit different, but but the R30 allows you to put 67 if it can fit 67. So you put 67 houses in this area with one way in, one way out. We had that at Kings Grant. We had that in a lot of different areas. It always concerns me when you only have one way in and one way out. You sit at the back of this neighborhood, have a heart attack, you'd be in trouble. But the other problem I have is all around this is R40, A1, A1A. It's really not compatible to the rest of this area. It may be 2 or 3 down the road, but it's really not that compatible. I saw that there were at least 200 neighbors that had petitions opposing this. I saw that in this. But then, you know what really hit me is I heard the gentleman come up here and talk about it. It's not because they can't do R40. I do R40 on a daily basis. But he said it wasn't feasible. I understand that. If you're a developer, you got to get as many houses as you can to get your money out of this. I understand that. But that's not to the benefit, to the detriment of the rest of these neighbors around here. This young lady can sell her house any day of the week. If they want to do R40, they can do R40, just that they won't make as much money when they develop this. That's just wrong. I can't support R30. I'll support R40 any day of the week on this particular piece of property, the rest of the commissioners. That's just what I heard that might be my lawyer hearing, but when he said it was feasible, R30 was feasible to be able to do that. That's what I get from that. So thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Adams. Commissioner Tyson, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's kind of appropriate we're having this conversation about this site during this season that we're in, Mr. Chairman. We're just now about to adopt a budget for this county. And I know you sat through those meetings as well as the rest of the board, and we've talked about our drop in sales tax revenues. We've talked about our drop in ad valorem tax revenues. We've talked about how our population growth in this county is, negligible. And, but we've also identified that we have a lot of need, Mr. Chairman. We've got a lot of need with our schools, with our water and sewer system, and the costs that are associated with that. But we also have a need to look for affordable housing options and to increase our housing supply that we have here in this county. I know every property owner that I talked to during reevaluation last year saw a lot of sticker shock in how much their property values increased. And part of that is due to the fact of supply and demand. So if you have a limited supply of that product and their demand stays constant, the price is going to go up. So, I think really, to me, this case points out that we have to look at, one, what we do as a board. I think this is a textbook case where removing the zero lot line exemption may have been hasty. It may have been something we want to relook at. I'm not sure that everybody understood it when we changed it and what that did to how we can build and develop responsibly in the county and balancing this community's needs for housing versus responsible development. But, my concern is if we do not move forward, we have a project manager that's telling us, hey, they're not going to move forward with the project. We're not going to realize the yield of those additional houses. We have an elderly lady that owns this house that's looking to transition out. So there's a lot of consideration we have to have here tonight, Mr. Chairman. And I'm wondering, is there an option that we could provide the applicant that meets his needs and balancing that with the community needs? And that's something I would just urge the board to consider tonight, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner Tyson. Commissioner Patel, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think when we look at development, we really have to balance, responsible, sustainable growth that's organic to our community. It helps keep our, lifestyle and tax base lower, and, we are more economically at home in that regards. But as we do move through this budget season and as we look through all these water projects, I know we're making a heavy effort to get fresh, clean, safe drinking water throughout the county. And when we've got developers that are willing to do the responsible type development, and staff can correct me if I'm wrong here, but those fees, those tap fees that would help pay for the water, would then be taken off the burden of the residents and placed on the burden of the developers. So, I mean, the developers will take some cost out of it while helping the county get the water and infrastructure needs that we need. And I think that there is a good balance to that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Vice Chairman Jones, you recognize round two.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, would the board be open to that? Or perhaps we need to take all these major considerations. Maybe we should have this go back to the planning board out of fairness to all parties involved. We have someone that's 88 years old. It's been stated that she's trying to sell her property for that of, reasons to, she's still living respectfully. Although she's older, we have to respect that. And then there seems to be two different sides of the planning board of if it's feasible, if it's not. So perhaps this might be something we need to take back to the planning board, being that all these considerations, to see if perhaps an R40 or something else can be worked out so that we can be mindful that the community can be happy, but then no doubt we certainly want to take care of our homeowners and our seniors as well in their last days. If you live that long, you certainly want an option to be able to live where you want to at that age. So I think this might be something that the board is open to it, that might need to go back to the planning board at this time.
Thank you, Vice Chairman Jones. And I think this board has shown in the past when we have different discussions, we prefer not to use what one of the individuals said earlier, to make sausage up here on the dais. So I think that's, appreciate the comment. Commissioner Faircloth, you're recognized.
Thanks, sir. If the applicant were to agree to R40, how many dwellings would that max out to?
Hold on one second. We'll get that for you here in just a second. If I had to just ballpark it, I would say you're probably looking probably around 55, maybe 55 to 60, possibly between 50 and 60, I would say.
Down from 67 at R30.
Right.
Okay.
I'm just ballparking as far as the math. I'm just reducing it by the percentage.
I've never decided a case on the basis of the age of the applicant, so that's a new one on me. But I think I'll be willing to consider that as a criterion. But I'm just looking at the logistics of trying to develop something with a bad water situation.
50 units is what we do.
That's good, okay. But the process that 50 or 67 or whatever the number ends up being, each one of these lots has to qualify for a septic tank and a well.
That's correct.
How deep would a well have to go here, or would they just have to put in some sort of other mitigation like Kenmore's is having installed? I mean, what is the logistical problem here? Or can you answer that?
I'm not the soil scientist. I think Mr. Smith here is the soil scientist. He could probably answer that better than me.
Commissioner Faircloth, would you like?
Can we ask him to come up and?
If you will, Mr. Smith, if you'll approach and just answer the questions from Commissioner Faircloth.
Yes, Commissioner Faircloth. In regards to the density with R40, I've drawn the layout. R40 uses the same lot width as R30. The problem with how it would be laid out, you can say gross aggregate density, that's great. We have to account for 60-foot wide streets. DOT is going to want that. We're going to have to also account for a utility easement beyond that for South River to put in their infrastructure. You're not going to get what R40 would pie in sky give you. Typically, you'll get about 10 to 20% less on average, which means that we're not going to be able to make the margins, as Commissioner Adams pointed out, yes.
Mr. Smith, I want to be careful. We're not advocating. I just need factual information, as I want to be respectful of both sides, sir.
Understood.
Thank you.
Yes.
We did our own calculation here. We're closer to what you're saying.
In regards to the wells, yes, they would go down typically around 100 to 200 feet. They would have GAC filtration. That would be pretty much the standard from what I'm gathering these days. I'm not a well driller, I mean, but I am.
It's at 100 to 200 feet?
Yes,
Does that
sir.
get you past PFAS?
Sir, I'm not a well driller. I don't have those logs, but they would have the filtration. So, yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Smith.
Yes.
I'm just curious.
Commissioner Fairclough, anything else?
I'm done.
Commissioner, thank you, Mr. Smith. Commissioner Adams, you're recognized.
And mine may not be able to be answered, Mr. Chairman, but I guess mine would go to staff more so. I see Miss Amanda back there, and I see Miss Phillips over there. And I guess the question would be, we know where PFAS is now in Camorris by the agreement has to do the GAC system and all of that. If you do a new subdivision, are they, yeah, she said she didn't know. Are they obligated then to do that with a new subdivision when you know that it's polluted and you go out and build? So that would have been my question. I understand. She said, no, she can't answer that. So thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Adams.
If somebody can find that later, maybe for the next one.
Commissioners, other questions for Mr. Howard or staff, or Director Howard or staff before we move forward? I will entertain a motion at this time. Commissioner Patel, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think we've heard a few different opinions on this project. I think to get us to a conclusion, I would say I'd make a motion to remand this back to the Joint Planning Board to consider different options to be presented to us in the future and see if we can align the goals of the community and the developer, because I do think this project's important. But
I'll second the motion.
So we've got a motion to move this case back to the Joint Planning Commission, or remand it back to the Joint Planning Commission for further discussion and review, and then bring it back. It's been properly seconded. Any discussion or comments on that motion? Commissioner Tyson, you're recognized.
Just a question, Mr. Chairman. Would that be at the next scheduled planning board meeting, or is there a time certain that you would want them to review it?
I will defer to Commissioner Patel. He's the motion maker. I would say that at the next available, the developer or the applicant bring it back at the next available on their time frame. But Mr. Attorney Hasty.
I believe the planning board meets tomorrow night, so I'm not sure it could be that quick, but maybe next.
I would just say that we would be glad to meet with like if you're saying to bring options, it's like, and we operate on extremely tight timelines to push the applications. Let's just work with the applicant to see what the appetite is for whatever options staff could be able to offer, and then put them on the next available one that we can, that we have, like not tomorrow, but like the next one after that we would have all set up for that. That would be my suggestion, just because if you're asking for options, we couldn't get a lot of options within this time period if we can.
Thank you, Director Howard. Commissioner Patel, anything you want to add in based on Commissioner Tyson's question on the motion?
So I just want to clarify by options. I mean, I'm not asking us to look at theoretically like commercial zoning for this space. So
Right.
I think we can narrow the list down to, what are the options with R40, conditional, RR, conditional zoning. I mean, I think there's a few options that can make it, I know everyone's not going to be happy, but I think we can find a happy medium, Mr. Chairman, if that.
Commissioner Fairclough, or Commissioner Tyson,
That answers my question. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yield back.
any other questions, Commissioners? All right, so the motion is to remand this case back to Joint Planning for further review and discussion. Any additional questions or comments before we vote? Seeing none, Commissioner Adams, you're recognized.
Just because I know all of those folks sitting back there, I don't know if they get the way the motion does. It talks about the applicant. Does it talk about including the community in that? And I guess that's when they come back to the Joint Planning Board, and you would notify all of those folk who were.
We would send out the notification to the list that we did the first time around.
And Commissioner Adams, that's the importance of remanding it back to the Joint Planning Commission so that the public is involved as well.
Yes.
Vice Chairman Jones, you have a question on the motion?
No, but I do have a comment, Mr. Chairman, in reference to the motion.
You're recognized, Vice Chairman.
Thank you. I just wanted to say that I do appreciate us taking that back, and I wanted clarification since I do come from a public health background. The average lifespan, as we know, it comes from your diagrammatic area in health for men and women is usually 75 to 76. You can fact check that through the National Association of Health. So when I stated in this case, I appreciate us taking that into consideration. We all would love to live to be 88, 100 years old, but as we know, as I'm stating from facts, from the healthcare perspective of things, the average lifespan based on if you have medical issues or not for men and women is between the ages, unfortunately, 75 to 88. Therefore, since she is 88, we want to take in consideration all factors. I don't know her medical condition, but the man said she needs money for her living expense. So I appreciate the board routing it back to the professionals, to the planning committee, so that, yes, the community can be considered, but she's also a part of the considering. Because when I say one citizen matters, I mean that, as she too is a part of that community. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Seeing no other questions, I'll ask for your vote on the motion. Again, the motion is to remand this case back to the Joint Planning Commission. All in favor, raise your right hand.
Unanimous.
At this time, we'll go ahead and move forward to item D, and thank you, Board, for working through that in a professional manner. We'll go ahead and move to item D, case ZON 260020. County Manager Greer, you're recognized.
This was the first case that I mentioned. I'm turning this one over to Ross Howard, Director of Planning and Inspection.
Thank you very much, County Manager. As the manager stated, this is case ZON 260020. This is located just south of Hope Mills, as you can see highlighted by the red star on the map. This is actually located pretty much right at their city limits line. This is located by the red cross-hatched area. You can see here, this is South Main Street. I'm trying to get my arrow back up here. You can see this is South Main Street with Hope Mills as city limits here, and then continuing further up the road. So the applicant owner is Stephen Connie Graham. The request is to go from R6A to C1P. C1P is our lightest commercial designation. And the intent is for a convenience store or some sort of storage solution out there for just a little under an acre, or 0.82 acres. This is a map of the property. You can see it's largely surrounded with residential. There is some commercial in the area. This is a transitioning area as you start to head into Hope Mills. This is the zoning map. As you can see, it's a pretty big C of R6A. You do have some C3 out there, some dormant districts, and a mixed-use district, but for the most part, as I said, this is a transitioning area as you head in off of the highway going into town. Just a picture of the property off of Jefferson Street. So this is South Main Street, and that's the corner of Jefferson Street there. There is no water and sewer in this area currently, but there's also no hydric or hydric inclusion soil, so they would have to go through the process of trying to identify utilities, whether that's with the town or well and septic. When staff reviewed this against the Southwest Cumberland Land Use Plan, it does call for mixed use in this area, with some of the goals trying to create a atmosphere of mixing of uses out in this area. That's some composition of both like the residential and the commercial uses. Staff did feel like it was consistent with the adopted land use plan, so we made our recommendation accordingly. This is the subject property, as you can see, sitting out on the road. This is on Main Street. This is the north view with the site immediately on the left-hand side. You can see the sign there. So here's a sign. Just want to make sure everybody can see the sign. So this is looking across the street. You can see it's still a transitioning area from a residential neighborhood. This is the southeast view with the site immediately located on the right-hand side. Staff does recommend approval of the request. We took this last month to the planning board, and they supported it by an 8-0 vote. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer what I can.
Thank you, Director Howard. Commissioner Tyson, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Director Howard, for that concise and thorough report. One question I have is, on the previous case, I know you had referenced that we're in the middle of updating this land use plan. We're towards the end of it. So my question to you is, based on where we are in the current update, are there any proposed changes that you're aware of? I know that plan hasn't been adopted, and this board's going to have to review it. But I just want to make sure, since we've already gotten a pretty good way through that process, that there's not some sort of gotcha, in the plan you're going to present for us to adopt.
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, I would say that a large component of that plan was very much driven by Hope Mills and their desire for economic development. So staff was really just, to be honest with you, was acting really just as a facilitator for all of that. So, I mean, I know that the FCEDC was involved. A lot of players were involved from a commercial and economic standpoint. I know that's one of Hope Mills's main goals right now is try to promote that, and this sits right at their main street. So I'm not anticipating there's going to be a heck of a lot of change in that perspective on this particular area as you head into town in the upcoming plan.
Perfect. Thank you, Mr.
Yeah.
Chair. Yield my time back.
Thank you, Commissioner Tyson. Commissioners, other questions before we move to the public hearing? Seeing none, this time we'll go ahead and open the public hearing. Madam Clerk, will you call the first speaker?
There are no speakers.
We'll go ahead and close the public hearing. Commissioners, other questions for Director Howard on this case? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion. Vice Chairman Jones.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. In case zone number 26-002, I make a motion that we vote to approve the rezoning request from R6A Residential District to C1P Plan Local Business District. This board finds that the request is consistent with the Southwest Cumberland Land Use Plan, which calls for mixed use at this location. The board also finds that the request is reasonable and that in the best of the public interest, as it is compatible to and in harmony with the surrounding land and its use, activities, and zones.
Second motion.
We've got a motion to approve this case from R6A Residential to C1P Plan Local Business District. It's been properly seconded. Any discussion or comments on the motion? Seeing none, I'll ask for your vote. All in favor, raise your right hand.
Unanimous.
And thank you. We'll move to our final case, case ZON 260022. County Manager Greer.
Yes, Rawls Howard, Planning Director, will present this item. Answer any questions you may have. Rawls.
Thank you very much. Stated, this is case ZON 26022. The Grays Creek area, as you can see, is a hot area to be in. So it's also located in the same area that we've been talking about this evening, as you can see by the highlighted red star. The applicant owner is Nita Butt. The agent is Chris Roberts with Marketplace Builders. The request is to go from A1 agricultural to R40A. The intent is to put a residential home on this property that's just about 2.73 acres. This is the property in question. For those of you that are familiar with the geography, this is H. Bullard Road, Crystal Lakes Road that sits here on the corner. The site in question is right here, this small elongated lot that you can see sits off of H. Bullard Road that is sandwiched in between this R40 and the R20 and the R15 that's sitting right over here. But that's the property in question. The intent of the owner, I believe, is to be able to subdivide in order to be able to put a manufactured home on the property, so to create two lots. Let's see. And I think I've got it frozen. Hold on one second. There we go. So you can see this is largely surrounded with stick-built, single-family residential homes. You can see by the map. This is more of a coloration of the zoning. You can see here, as I said before, it's surrounded on two sides by R40 and R20, as you can see here, and there's an R15 neighborhood that sits across the street, but to the west and surrounding it toward the rear is largely A1 zoning. Let's see, just an aerial of the property. You can see there are two homes on there now. Again, the intent was to subdivide, replace one home with a manufactured home. There is water that sits out in this particular area, but there's no sewer. There are no hydric or hydric inclusion soils on the property, so they would have to go through the process of looking at potentially, maybe not well, but septic, definitely. When staff reviewed this against the South Central plan, this calls for low-density residential. The associated zoning districts for that are identified in the plan is R7.5 and R15. So it does make some allowances for the goals that are there, but for the most part, staff was looking at the context and what the applicable districts that would be germane to be compliant with the plan. So with that being said, staff did not feel it was consistent with the adopted land use plan. This is the subject properties. You're standing on the road, H. Bullard Road. This is the east view with the property immediately on the right-hand side. You can see the sign. It is there behind the post box. But you can see it better there. So, you know, as you're looking on the west view, you can see the sign on the road there with his site immediately on the left-hand side. And this is looking just across the street. So staff did recommend denial of the request. When we took this to the planning board, however, they had recommended approval by an 8-0 vote. I'll try to answer what I can.
Thank you, Director Howard. Commissioners, question on this item before we move to the public hearing. Commissioner Tyson, you're recognized. I don't even have to look for your.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So similar to case 12, there was a lot of vigorous discussion at the planning board. And I'm able to kind of read through this and follow it, but just for the public to understand and for the benefit of everybody else, give us a brief summary kind of that discussion, because it kind of bounces back and forth a little bit. What's the applicant's ultimate goal here?
As I understand it, there are two homes out there, and I think the goal was they were going to take one home off and be able to put a manufactured home. R40 doesn't allow manufactured homes. They only allow stick-built homes.
Right.
So the context of where staff had come from for our recommendation was, first and foremost, the policy says 7.5 and R15. But we kind of recognized what's around in that area, but then we started looking at the context, and we had said that across the street and on both sides, for the most part, only allow stick-built homes. And it was just, for us, it became largely a contextual type of conversation in addition to the policy conversation. When we took that to the planning board was weighing that against that you can allow manufactured homes to the west and to the south. You can allow it in A1, which is not untrue. That is, like factual. So it was one of these things where it was just a perspective of how we saw the context versus what the planning board had saw the context of this particular case. That's it.
And the goal of the applicant, is this for his own use? Was this for commercial purposes, is why he's requesting this? And the reason I ask is because, if he's living or has a family member living on the property and he's making this as an accommodation for that, or for a resident that's there, I kind of followed that and kind of looked like in the notes that was kind of where he was going with it.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it was kind of a little bit back and forth in the minutes, so.
Yeah, I can just go by what was discussed at the planning board meeting, and the applicant, who I think is here, could possibly be able to answer that.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I yield back.
Commissioners, other questions before we move to the public hearing?
Mr. Chairman, just
Commissioner Adams, you're recognized.
in reference to that, it always comes up to what the applicant wants, but it's really about what we rezone it for, because it could be a different owner in the future, and it's whatever that use can be. So whatever you decide right now that I'm gonna do this, but if you come to a R40 or R whatever, it's whatever's called in there, right?
That's correct, yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
Commissioners, other questions before we open the public hearing? Seeing none, we'll go ahead and open the public hearing. Madam Clerk, will you call the first speaker?
Todd Mobley. Todd Mobley.
Madam Clerk, will you call the next speaker?
Chris Roberts.
I'm Chris Roberts. I'm the builder here and developer. I live at 313 Tad Street, which is about 1 block away. I went to the board, and I'm building on the 2 lots next door, R40, on those. And Miss Nita Butt, she's in her 80s. She has 2.73 acres there. Her daughter lives at the back in a double-wide trailer, and she had a single-wide in the front that she offered to buy. It's dilapidated. I'm taking it off. So I went to staff and asked them what to do. How can I get it rezoned so I can build another house, a 2,500 square foot stick-built house on the lot next door? And they recommended R40A because they needed the back to be continued to be a mobile home zone. I would really like for R40 so I can build a house. If you build it, if you give me R40A today, and 10 years from now that house burns down, they can put a trailer back on there. I would prefer R40 today, but I'm going to build a stick-built house, not a mobile home. And I'm taking a single wide off that nobody's lived in years.
Anything else, sir?
That's it.
Thank you, sir. Madam Clerk, will you call the next speaker?
There are no more speakers.
This time we'll go ahead and close the public hearing. Commissioners, question on this case for Mr. Howard or in general? Commissioner Faircloth, you're recognized.
Trying to get my.
I got you.
Yeah, I failed to understand, Mr. Chris, I failed to understand your relationship with the applicant. And I think you're trying to help the applicant, but are you building that home for the applicant?
No, ma'am. No, sir.
Sir-
Oh, okay.
Sir, Mr.
we can
Roberts,
come
if
to
you'll
the mic.
please come back up to the mic.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
And again, just answer the factual.
I would like to build for Jody and Pam Shotwell that's lived in Grace Creek for years. They've asked me to build them a 2,500 square foot ranch home on there.
Is that adjacent to this property or?
The pictures don't do it justice. In front of the property, there is a single wide trailer that Miss Butts used to rent, and it fell into disrepair. Miss Butts needs the money. She's in her 80s, and she was offered to sell me an acre. So I have to tear the single wide off, take it away, and build a new house there. And her daughter lives behind it on the other 1.73 acres. They said I had to apply for a R40A because the remainder would still be a mobile home.
Thank you, Mr. Roberts. Commissioner Faircloth, did that answer your question?
I think so, but I'm still in a quandary.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Roberts. Commissioner Tyson, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Kind of going back to Director Howard. So we've heard from the applicant. He has expressed that it would be his desire to go to R40 instead of R40A. If the board grants that request and adopts the R40, talk us through what that does to the existing use. Does it make it non-conforming? What's the implication for that decision?
Well, I mean, currently under A1, you can have a manufactured home on your property, clearly. So, I mean, you go to R40, you would not be allowed to have a manufactured home on the property. So any manufactured home that is there would be a legally non-conforming use of property, would be subject to the limitations in our code as to how we treat such uses.
Let's follow up, Mr. Chair.
Go ahead.
So if we did grant Mr. Roberts that request, if that manufactured home was to be discontinued from use, then it would either have to be removed and you couldn't put it back if it's legal non-conforming.
I believe
correct?
the stipulations for our non-conforming sections is that if it's discontinued for a period of a year, but you could do, I think, a one-for-one switch out on things that are non-conforming as long as you don't expand it.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.
Commissioner Patel, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Director Howard, so just to clarify, from what the applicant is asking for is technically R40 for the new construction. With the single wide being removed and then looking right now at R40A and having kind of where Commissioner Tyson's going, thought-wise, the second home on the other end of the property, is the parcel going to get divided? I mean,
That's the indication that we've received, is they're going to subdivide the property.
okay. So then, what would be the need to continue it as R40A if there's only going to be one structure?
I don't think that we got an indication there was going to be one structure.
Okay. Is there any way we could get clarification on that?
Commissioner Howard, or Director Howard?
Yeah, hold on one second, please.
Okay. Hold on, Mr. Roberts, please. I'm sorry. Just
bear with me just a second,
Yes, sir.
Commissioners, okay? Yeah, so we included this in your packet. This was what was given to staff, which indicates 2 lots with 2 homes on it. That should be in your packet as an attachment toward the rear. That's what we were working off of. And that was submitted to us by the applicant. It should be an attachment, the supplemental document preliminary plan.
Yeah, I see. Oh, okay.
So I also think that it's a combination of things. It was the minimum lot size then goes from 2 acres to 1 acre, which would allow you to subdivide it. And then in the R40A, I think staff was just trying to be accommodating to the owner that we didn't want to make anything non-conforming. If you wanted to do it, because I think we got the indication that there was going to still be some manufactured homes on the property. If not, it's up to the applicant if they want R40 or R40A. I don't think staff is really, bending against any of that. It's really as if the applicant, if we zone it, it's just a non-conforming use at that point. I think staff was trying to be accommodating to our citizens and not try to do that.
Commissioner Patel, anything else?
So, Mr. Chairman, I would just want a clarification. So if the board decided to look at moving forward with R40, that would be acceptable to the applicant and the board?
That would be his call.
Instead of R40A?
Yes, sir.
May I ask the applicant that question?
Mr. Roberts, if you'll come up and just answer the question, if you would, if you are fine with R40 versus R40A.
I applied for subdivision with a plat and a survey, and they told me I had to get it rezoned. I'm cutting 1 acre out and leaving the mobile home in the back, 1.73 acres. There's 2.73 acres. Yes, if I can, but the back still has to remain for Miss Butt's daughter, a double wide. She lives back there. It still has to remain a mobile home zoning. I'm just taking the front of the 1 acre away and building a house on 1 acre.
I got you. Thank you, Mr. Roberts. Did I
Trying to
answer-
help.
Yes. Just one last question for Director.
We are too.
Thank you, Mr. Roberts. Director Howard, if you'll come back up.
Yeah.
Commissioner Patel, continue.
So, Director Howard, one more question. So it looks like this is kind of like a flag lot with the R40A being 1 acre. And just to confirm, what's the square footage of a R40 lot?
40,000 square feet.
Yes, sir. Okay, so it's under an acre.
Correct.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Vice Chairman Jones, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You may have answered my question. That was my concern because I know we're talking about stick houses, then we're also talking about mobile homes, and that was going to be my concern, Mr. Howard. So it sounds like you are trying to help them out. I certainly went, the home in the back is a mobile home, correct? And-
Mr. Roberts, please.
So, I'm sorry, Mr. Howard, I'm sorry. My apologies. So, Mr. Howard, the home in the back is a mobile home. Well, he
Correct.
said both of them are.
Yes.
So what would be, so I don't get myself confused or in our listening audience, is there a way to do just that, to have this zoning rezoned to where, it sounds like he is trying to work with those that are living in their home, and what would be the solution for him to, it seems like he's trying to go through the right, correct zoning codes, but he just stated he would like for that to remain because she is older, but her daughters live on the land in that mobile home. So that would be my concern too, that I certainly wouldn't want. Sounds like if I don't want to make assumptions, but sounds like family helping family and living on the land. What would be the way to for it to be a win-win? For him to be able to get what he's in need of. It sounds like he's trying to build, like he said, a stick home, which is not a mobile home, but be in rules and regulations when it comes to the planning board for that existing mobile home where there's residents, which that's their home, for her daughters to be able to still reside in the back part of the land. What would be the solution for that?
That would be the request that you got before you, would be the R40A.
Just make it simple for me. So the R40A would be the route to have that happen.
Yeah, and just so you know, even though staff had recommended denial, your motion is in support of what the planning board's recommendation was, and they had recommended approval, so the motions should be reflective of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but it would be called the R40A, because I know we're talking about two different ones.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Howard, for clearing that up. Appreciate that.
Anything else, Vice Chairman?
No, that's all, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Tyson, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll be brief. Appreciate your indulgence.
Of course.
Is there any reason, other than the fact that the applicant applied for R40, is there any reason that he would not want R40A? I guess is the big question. Okay.
Commissioner Tyson, is that a question for Mr. Roberts?
Yes.
Would you like him to address that?
Yes.
Mr. Roberts, if you'll indulge us one more time at the podium, sir. And your question, Commissioner Tyson?
Other than the fact that you applied originally for the R40, is there any other objection you have if we approved it at the R40A?
R40A will be fine for a stick-built house. I can build a stick-built house on it. That'll
Thank
be
you.
fine.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Roberts.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. If there's no other questions, I'm prepared to make a motion.
Commissioners, I don't see any other questions. Commissioner Tyson, you're recognized for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In case ZON-26-0022, I move to approve the rezoning request from A1 Agricultural District to R40A Residential District and find that, 1, approval is an amendment to the adopted current South Central Land Use Plan, and that the Board of Commissioners should not require any additional request or application for amendment to said map for this request. 2, the existing manufactured homes will be consistent with the permitted uses allowed within the requested district. 3, the request for future residential uses would be compatible with the character of the surrounding residential uses. The board also finds that this request is reasonable and in the public interest and is compatible to and in harmony with the surrounding land use activities and zoning.
Second.
We've got a motion to approve the zoning case from A1 to R40A. It's been properly seconded. Any discussion or comments on the motion? Seeing none, I'll ask for your vote. All in favor, raise your right hand.
Voting in favor, Commissioner Tyson, Commissioner Council, Vice Chairwoman Jones, Chairman Deviere, Commissioner Patel, and Commissioner Fairclough. Voting in opposition, Commissioner Adams.
Thank you, Board. Thank you, Director Howard. Even though you only brought us 3, it was still time-consuming. And to the applicants and people that spoke, thank you. We appreciate your time in respect of the dais. We'll go ahead and move to item 4, items of business. And Board, without objection, I know we have several people here tonight for item D. If we can go ahead and move that at the top of the item of business without objection, unless anybody has any objection, I'm going to go ahead and move that item forward. Seeing none, so moved. We'll move to the new item A, consideration of implementation of a moratorium on the issuance of development permits for data centers. County Manager Greer.
Yes, I'll turn this over to Rob Hasty, Assistant County Manager, to present and answer any questions you may have. Rob?
Attorney Hasty, you're recognized.
Thank you. This is consideration of the implementation of a moratorium on the issuance of development permits for data centers. The public hearing was held on May 18th, 2026. This was discussed at the June 11th agenda session, and the moratorium would be a 6-month moratorium up to December 15th, 2026, if adopted, and this ordinance can be adopted at the first reading by a majority vote of the commissioners.
Attorney, anything else for us? Attorney Hasty. All right. County Manager Greer, anything to add?
Nothing to add,
From
Chairman.
staff's perspective. Commissioners, I will open it up for comments or questions. Commissioner Tyson, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd just like to thank the public that's been with us through this process for coming out and for letting your voices be heard. I'd like to also thank the staff for working to put this together in a timely manner, and I look forward to moving through this issue, getting this set, and moving forward to protect the community, Mr. Chairman. Yield back.
Commissioner Patel, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I just want to personally thank, the community for, one, speaking with us, emailing us, calling us, informing us. And, it goes a long way when representative leadership actually listens to their constituents. And, I don't think tonight's vote is rejecting an investment in our community, but making sure that we do our correct homework, that we're taking a responsible course of action and try and avoid costly mistakes for the next generation. So, I'll be supportive of this moratorium, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Patel. Commissioner Adams, you're recognized.
Mr. Chairman, and I think it's important for the citizens to know that we heard them. They asked for a year moratorium. I've always been of the opinion that what's more important than the moratorium is the ordinance. And at the agenda session, which is why I'm willing to go 6 months, is because staff has told me they can have that ordinance in place within that 6-month period of time. It's the ordinance that's going to protect this community, not a moratorium. I keep telling them, you know, whatever Raleigh does, it flows down to us. But when you got an ordinance that sets it out, you know, we heard the young lady say she could hear the power lines out by her house. That's the ordinance part that we can put in place to be able to protect people, and that's the most important part. So even though it's not a year, because we can do that within that 6-month period of time, I'm willing to do that 6 months. I asked that question, and the board, I think we were all satisfied with the answers that we got on that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner Adams. Commissioner Faircloth, you're recognized.
Yeah, just to build on what Commissioner Adams said, previously I voted against it because I thought 6 months was too long. I thought we could have the ordinance in place in 3 months. I still think that, but for the sake of getting this done, I will vote for the 6 months instead.
Thank you, Commissioner Faircloth. Vice Chairman Jones, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to also thank our citizens for coming out and being engaged. We always speak of a better quality of life, and so we do know that our water, our air, and our environment means just that, because all of that impacts a better quality of life. So just taking the opportunity to say that we hear you and we listen because we are here to serve for you. So I want to appreciate each and every one of you. Air is important, water is important, environment is important, and we are here to serve you. These are definitely action steps to implement. As Commissioner Adams stated, an ordinance will help us and allow us to start putting things in place, and make no mistake, once we start implementing and putting these actions into place, other actions can follow suit. And I agree with each and every one of my counter colleagues here. It is important for us to do diligence, to do our research information. We value our staff as we ourselves, make no mistake. I feel like from these actions, we have individually taken the responsibility to do research, and this will allow us to dig even deeper in our staff while putting things in place. So again, we thank you, be encouraged. We are one community together for a better quality of life. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Commissioners, any other questions? Seeing none, I will entertain a motion. Vice Chairman Jones, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. At this time, I move that we approve the moratorium on the insurance of development permits for data centers.
Second. We've got a motion to approve the moratorium on the issuance of development permits for data centers for a term of 6 months. It's been properly seconded. Any discussion on the motion or comments? Seeing none, I'll ask for your vote. All in favor, raise your right hand.
Unanimous.
And before we move forward to the next item, again, just want to thank everyone for coming out and being respectful in our chambers. Also, just a couple comments. What we did tonight was to choose to plan before we take action and before we permit. We're writing the standards first so that when a data center looks at Cumberland County, or if it looks at Cumberland County, they will already know the questions to ask and the answers we require on water, on power, on noise, and what sits next to our neighborhoods, our schools, and Fort Bragg. That was not a quiet decision. Many of you came to this room. More than 100 of you wrote to us. You raised water in a county that had every reason to take water seriously. You raised the grid, the noise, the cost we carry long after the ribbon is cut. You did the homework, and that homework helped shape tonight's vote. To the business community and to anyone weighing an investment here, let me be very clear on this. This is not a closed door. This is not anti-growth. The companies worth having don't run from clear rules. They look for them. What slows good investments down is uncertainty, not standards. Clear expectations are a tailwind, not a headwind. So this is not Cumberland County stepping back. It's Cumberland County getting ready to compete for the right projects, listening to our community as we shape this ordinance on the terms that protect the people who already live here. This is the real work ahead. We will look at the timeline to do it, to our staff, our planning team, and our county attorney. Thank you for the work so far. We've got work to do. Thank you so much. At this time, Commissioner Fairclough, was your light still on, or did you have a comment?
Yeah, I have a comment or question actually for staff. At this time, has any entity applied for any kind of data center that is within the scope of Cumberland County's work? I know there might be some in Fort Bragg, there may be some in other municipalities, but has Cumberland County received any kind of application?
County Manager Greer.
None at this time, Commissioner.
None at this time. Okay.
Thank you, Commissioner Fairclough. All right, at this time, we will go ahead and move forward back to item now B, consideration of memorandum and understanding between the town of Spring Lake and the Overhills Park and Water District. County Manager Greer, you're recognized.
Yes, Amanda Lee, General Manager of Natural Resources, will present this item based on discussions we've had with the town of Spring Lake on the Overhills Park and Water and Sewer District. Amanda?
Good evening, Ms. Lee. I know you've had
Good
a long
evening.
day.
It's
Thank you
been
for
a long
being
day.
here. I know it
Thank
has been.
you.
Thank you for being here.
Anything different? So this item concerns the sewer treatment and billing arrangements between the town of Spring Lake and the Overhills Park Water and Sewer District. And for some background information, in 2014, the district entered into a formal agreement with the town of Spring Lake. Under that agreement, the town charged $9.23 per customer for operation and maintenance and $4 per 1,000 gallons for sewer usage. In August 2025, significantly higher rates were proposed. $40 for connection, $40 per connection for operation and maintenance costs, and $18 per 1,000 gallons for sewer usage were implemented without an agreement between the two parties. Since that time, staff from both organizations have worked collaboratively to address these issues. Working together, staff have developed a proposed memorandum of understanding that establishes a mutually agreeable framework for resolving outstanding billing matters and clarifying future responsibilities. And those key provisions of the memorandum of understanding involve the elimination of the existing $9.25 per connection for operation and maintenance charge effective July 1st, 2026. And so with the elimination of that fee, Overhills Water and Sewer District will take on the operation and maintenance of the district. We're looking at recalculation of the existing sewer bills utilizing a bulk sewer rate of $6.25 per 1,000 gallons, consistent with the Public Works Commission benchmark rate for fiscal year 2026. And then for the next 5 years, we're proposing the establishment of a bulk sewer rate of $9 per 1,000 gallons. And so this MOU will resolve the current billing concerns and establish this framework for future sewer billing and maintenance responsibilities and the framework for a future agreement. Staff recommends approval of the memorandum of understanding between the town of Spring Lake and the Overhills Park Water and Sewer District. I'm available to answer any questions.
Thank you. Board, any questions on this item? Commissioner Tyson, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So I know that with this just being the MOU, it's kind of a preliminary document. And I know there's going to be a lot of discussion and a lot of consideration given by both sides. But as we have that discussion, one of the things I would really like us to focus on too is the quality of the service delivery, of course, to those that are within the district. But then two, how the maintenance responsibilities tie into who owns the capital. So if we're, as we're looking to our maintenance responsibilities for those systems, what happens to those assets and how do we work through that? And I trust your team, and I know county manager is going to work with in the best interest of the county, but I just wanted to make sure I put that on the record today, that as we move through this, to really take that into account, into consideration. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner Tyson. I know this is the first step in many that our team is putting in place. So, but we appreciate your point. Any other comments from commissioners? Seeing none, entertain a motion. Commissioner Adams, you prepared to make a motion?
I am, Mr. Chairman. I would move that we approve the memorandum of understanding between the town of Spring Lake and the Overhill Parks Water and Sewer District, and authorize the chairman to execute that memorandum of understanding.
Second the motion.
We've got a motion to approve the MOU between Town of Spring Lake and Overhills Park. It's been properly seconded. Any discussion or comments on the motion? Seeing none, I'll ask for your vote. All in favor, raise your right hand.
Unanimous.
And we'll go ahead and move to item C, consideration of schematic design and contracts for the Unhoused Support Center.
Yes, Commissioners, Heather Skeens, Assistant County Manager, will present this item and answer any questions you may have. Heather, and also introduce any guests that are here regarding the project.
Good evening, Commissioners.
Good evening.
I am pleased to provide an Unhoused Sports Center update, which will cover schematic, design, deliverable, schedule, contracts, due diligence, and bar documents. And I have a group with me tonight, Charles Boney and Bob Presley with LS3P, Jonathan Best and Duke Sissage, I hope I said that right, with Bar, George Gilmore and Tommy Cartwright with Manna Dream Church. All right. So this next slide you all have seen before. This timeline has just moved the schematic design arrow to the end of schematic design. This is a slightly different timeline than we presented at the May 2026 project update. You all have an enlarged copy of this because it's difficult to read on the slide. As a reminder, the carved courtyard is what the board approved for us to move forward in schematic design. During the schematic design phase, LS3P shall provide the program and other information furnished by Cumberland County, shall review laws, codes, and regulations applicable to the services. In addition, LS3P shall prepare a preliminary evaluation of the program, schedule, budget for the cost of work and the project site, and shall prepare schematic design documents for approval, which include a site plan, and they also should provide an estimate of the cost of work, and that is all in the current contract. This is the overall site plan for the center. And this next slide shows a high-level look at the building. If you start from the left on your slides, I apologize, it's a blue arrow. Here it looks like it's a gray arrow. You'll see that's the main entrance leading into the reception center. There's also a grid on the right side that talks about the color coding and the wing, and addresses the bed numbers in each of the wings. So you have the family at 8, the women's at 32, the men's at 62, and 1 isolation. Also, please note that In the men's and women's wing, that does include bunk beds. The next 3 slides are really just pulling out each of those wings for a little bit easier look. So this is the family wing. This would be the men's wing, and this is the women's wing. And then lastly, this is what we are envisioning the building to look like as we have completed schematic design. So I can pause there and answer any questions, or I can move forward in the other PowerPoint presentation.
So, Assistant Manager Skeens, just so that we're following, so this is one piece, the action you'll need from the action you're requesting from the schematic design piece of this?
Is to approve the schematic design deliverables.
Okay. And the deliverables are what you just presented, the layout?
Yes, and then the budget.
Correct.
And the schematic design also, yes.
Which was part of what was already contracted?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Board questions on this step before we move forward? Commissioner Adams, you're recognized.
Mr. Chairman, I've been kind of consistent. It's kind of hard to do a site and schematics when you don't know where you're going. So again, that's going to be my issue. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Faircloth, you're recognized.
I know we're sitting here mumbling about that, but pretty much this will fit whatever option. Everything we've got under consideration, this will work with it. Is that not correct?
Yes, so this design should, we can move from site to site. It may slightly shift in design development, but after design development, we should not be making any more changes to the designs.
Commissioner Faircloth. Commissioner Tyson, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I think Commissioner Faircloth got part of my question answered, so we can make changes as we narrow down the site, but we want to keep the project on time and keep the timeline rolling. One of the things I've been consistent about is having our operator input. I know you got the contract here tonight for us to finally sign it, but we did award it, and just wanted to make sure we have consulted. I know they're here tonight, but we have consulted with them on the design, and they've been involved in that process in the schematic design, correct?
Yes, they have been, the representative from Manna Church Dream Center, who is present, Tommy Cartwright, has been attending our weekly meetings since about mid-May and has offered much valuable input to making some changes.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yield back.
Commissioners, any other questions on this step? Assistant Manager Skeens, if you'll continue. Thank you.
So contracts are the next, and thank you, Commissioner Tyson, for that lead-in. The first contract for consideration is with Manna Church Dream Center. Tommy Cartwright has been an active participant in our weekly meetings since May. Again, they've provided guidance and considerations as we moved through this schematic design. The contract addresses pre- and post-operating cost. Pre-operating costs have been budgeted. However, post-operating costs have not, as those costs will be in the fiscal year 27-28. Staff are asking for the contract to be approved with the chairman's authority to sign once we have pre-audit and legal sufficiency. Our finance team and legal team have reviewed this contract many times, and so now it just needs to go to through the process. The next contract is LS3P. The base contract for LS3P authorizes work through the project closeout. The Board of Commissioners requested that we amend the contract through Contract Amendment 2 to Schematic Design Subphase 2A only in October 2025. Amendment number 4 is a request for design development and closeout phase services with a total compensation for design development, construction documents, procurement phase, construction phase, and closeout phase in the amount of $1,067,115. Staff are requesting the approval of Amendment 4 and authorization for the chairman to sign once pre-audit and legal sufficiency have been obtained, or in the alternative, approval of Amendment 4 for design development only in the amount of $251,085.90. And then lastly, our contract with Bar and Bar Amendment 2 is a request to extend the contract through August 2027, as the current contract will expire in August 26. There are no additional dollars attached to this request, and so we're requesting approval of amendment number 2 once legal sufficiency is attained, and approval for the chairman to sign the amendment. Due diligence of the property has begun. We have engaged F&R for Phase 2 environmentals and have finalized the contract with MKR for civil engineer work. And then we have the Bar and Bar documents which were uploaded to the agenda, and I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Best to talk about the current budget status.
Good evening, Commissioners.
Good evening.
So currently, our approved budget for the project is $14 million. Based off of the current schematic design estimate, we're at $15,692,069. That's a budget delta of about $1,692,069. But we have what we call a proposed cost management of $1,468,721, and that will get us back to within $223,000 of the proposed budget. And so what we have scheduled is next week with LS3P what we call a target value design session. And if it's okay if I go to the next slide, we have a list of items. I think it's in your package, but I can kind of go through them. But all of these items are target value design items where we'll work with the design team and work really hard to assign values and align the budget with the design so we can get back to within the current contracted budget.
Okay.
So we're not asking for approval for any of these documents. It's really for your information. And again, these were part of the deliverables for the schematic design. So again, tonight we're asking for approval of the schematic design, the contract with MANA, and amendment number 4 with LS3P, and amendment number 2 for Bar and Bar.
Commissioners, questions on, for Assistant Manager Skeens based on the items staff is requesting? Commissioner Tyson, you're recognized.
And thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I first wanted to thank you all for your hard work on this project. I know it's been a road, but I know y'all hung in there with us. And I look forward to seeing y'all kind of go through that VE process. I know, you're going to be very thoughtful and very deliberate about how you go through that process. My question is that list pretty exhaustive of all the options we have on the table? And I know we can talk about this later, but are y'all going to also look for potential additional items that we can close that delta a little more if we so choose?
Yep. So Commissioner Tyson, this list was just a list that we could see that was kind of on the surface, but as we continue to process and select the site, we'll be able to really exhaust and refine that list more. And so what we want to do is really get some big ticket items that we know just right off the bat, no matter where the site is, based off of design, we can target those items and start the process as we're still working to get a site.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Commissioner Tyson. Commissioners, other questions? Commissioner Adams, you're recognized.
Mr. Chairman, I'm just, and I don't know how you're going to take the motion for these, or you're going to have it as one full motion. Some of them I can vote yes on, some I can vote no on. So
We'll move through them individually, okay. Commissioner Adams.
Thank you.
If that works.
That works for me.
Does that work for you?
Absolutely.
Any other questions, Commissioners? All right, Vice Chairman Jones, you're recognized for a series of motions. We'll start with one, and then we'll call the vote on each individual.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We'll start with number 1. I move that we approve the approval of the Phase 2A deliverables for the schematic designs as presented.
Second motion.
We've got a motion to approve the schematic design that's deliverable in Phase 2 as presented. It's been properly seconded. Any discussion or comment on the motion? Seeing none, I'll ask for your vote. All in favor, raise your right hand.
Voting in favor, Commissioner Tyson.
Ignore me.
Vice Chairwoman Jones, Chairman Deviere, Commissioner Patel, and Commissioner Fairclough. Voting in opposition, Commissioner Adams. And Commissioner Council.
Mr. Chairman, you can take the rest of them together. I don't have a problem with the rest of them if that was going to be.
Understand.
That was the only one I had.
Thank you, Commissioner Adams. Vice Chairman Jones, you're recognized for a follow-on motion.
I move that number 2, that we approve the contract with Manna Church Center and authorize the chairman to sign the contract once pre-audited and legal efficiencies have been obtained. We're going to do this individually.
Second the motion.
We've got you want to go ahead and group them all, Vice Chairwoman?
Okay, that's fine. Okay, then. And number 3.
Hold on one second. Do you have an issue does anybody have an issue if we group them? Let's just take them one at a time. That's how we said we do it. We've got a motion on the floor to approve the contract with Manna Church Dream Center. It's been properly seconded. Any discussion or comments on the motion? Commissioner Fairclough, you recognize.
Forgive me, that's really not germane to the motion, but I just want to commend Manna Church for stepping up on this. I feel really, really good about having them involved, and they're local, and I really appreciate them.
Thank you, Commissioner Fairclough. Any other comments on discussion or comments on the motion? Seeing none, I'll ask for your vote for approval of the contract with Manna Church. Raise your right hand.
Unanimous.
We'll go ahead and move. Vice Chairman Jones, I'll entertain another motion.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And number 3, I move that we approve the Fourth Amendment to the LS3P contract for closeout of the project, and also that we authorize the chairman to sign the contract once pre-audited and legal sufficiencies has been obtained.
I'll second the motion, Mr. Chairman, for purposes of discussion. Just wanted to propose a friendly amendment to the Vice Chair's motion.
You're recognized, Commissioner Tyson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would propose that we add through design development to that motion.
I'll accept the friendly amendment.
We've got a motion, a friendly amendment that's been accepted to the motion to approve the Fourth Amendment to the LS3P contract through the design development phase. It's been properly seconded. Any discussion or comments on that motion? Seeing none, I'll ask for your vote. All in favor, raise your right hand.
Voting in favor, Commissioner Tyson, Commissioner Council, Vice Chairwoman Jones, Chairman Deviere, Commissioner Patel, and Commissioner Fairclough. Voting in opposition, Commissioner Adams.
And Vice Chairman Jones, you're recognized for the last motion.
Yes, and for the fourth and last motion, I move that we approve the Second Amendment to Bar and Bar's contract for a contract extension, no additional monies, and authorize the chairman to sign the contract once pre-audited and legal sufficiencies have been obtained.
Is there a second?
Second.
We've got a motion to approve the Second Amendment to Bar and Bar's contract. This is basically a contract extension. It's been properly seconded. Any discussion or comments on the motion? Seeing none, I'll ask for your vote. All in favor, raise your right hand.
Unanimous.
Assistant Manager Skeens, did I give you what you need to move forward?
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for your work.
Thank you for the team.
Thank you, County Manager. We'll go ahead and move to items D, consideration of extension of Celebration Drive. County Manager Greer.
Yes, additionally, Rob Hasty, Assistant County Attorney, will present this item, answer any question you may have. This was a walk-on item at the recent agenda session.
Attorney Hasty, you're recognized.
Allow road access in two directions. Pruitt Land Company would bear the expense of this work. The county is not obligated to expend any funds. The county owns the property and leases it, and it's controlled by the Board of Education, and they've made this request to have this approved.
Attorney Hasty, any changes from what we briefed on at the agenda session?
I do not believe there's been any change from that. In all documents that we have in county possession or in the packet connected to Mr. Warfield's.
Commissioners, any questions on this item? Seeing none, I will entertain a motion. Commissioner Tyson, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I make a motion that we approve the extension of Celebration Drive as contemplated by the resolution of the Cumberland County Board of Education.
Second.
We've got a motion to approve the extension of Celebration Drive. It's been properly seconded. Any discussion or comments on the motion? Seeing none, I'll ask for your vote. All in favor, raise your right hand.
Unanimous.
And Board, we're going to take a brief recess so we can allow Ms. Council to step back. So we'll take a brief, give us a 5-minute recess so you can stand at ease. I know we're on.
You want Commissioner Council?
No, I was singing Robin.
Oh, okay.
All right, at this time, we'll come out of recess and we'll move to item E, again, consideration of proactive fourth modification of the contract. County Manager Greer.
Yes, we just need to, this contract is an extension of the current contract. As we work through certain agreements throughout the community, this contract will terminate June 30th, 2027, if not earlier.
Commissioners, questions on this? Commissioner Patel, you recognize.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, just a quick question. County Manager Greer, I think I know what happened, or I'm confused, so it might be the latter, though. The attached contract, I think maybe, is that the correct one? Because it looks like it was dated.
I think we need to get you the correct one,
Would the terms still be the same?
terms
Just
will be the
dates?
same, it's just a date.
Okay, thank you for the clarification. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Tyson, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back. I got my question answered.
Commissioners, any other questions on this item? Seeing none, we'll entertain a motion. Commissioner Patel, you recognize.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. At this time, I'd make a motion to approve the fourth modification to the Proactive MD contract and authorize the chairman to sign once pre-audited and legal sufficiency have been obtained.
Second the motion.
We've got a motion to approve the proactive fourth modification of the contract. It's been properly seconded. Any discussion or comments on the motion? Seeing none, I'll ask for your vote. All in favor, raise your right hand.
Unanimous.
We'll go ahead and move to item F, approval of Board of Elections Memorandum of Understanding Update. County Manager Greer, you're recognized.
Yes, at the agenda session, we had a presentation of the memorandum of understanding for the Board of Elections and update. I will turn this one over to the Assistant County Manager, Tafana Bradley, and Assistant County Manager, Rob Pacey, to present and answer any questions you may have.
Before, Ms. Bradley, Assistant Manager Bradley, if you'll go ahead and come forward. Commissioner Adams, you have a comment?
Yes, and we heard this at the agenda session.
Yes, sir.
And I was enlightened at that point, but I just wanted to be on the record for a couple of things. One, and I think we were, as to the issue that I was talking about of an appeal, understand that's by statute, but I wanted to be on board to say to our elected officials that represent us in Raleigh that that's a bad situation. They ought to look at that. There's no way in the world that anybody should be able to file a grievance, have it heard, and not have some kind of appeal from that. And it should be in policy or something like that. Understand it's by state statute. They told me that last week. I get educated on stuff, but it was my request to that. The other thing I had, though, was I looked at the old MOU and this one, and I understand this one's between the Board of Elections and the county. But I can't be online with, where it changed was that I have no problem with the Board of Elections discipline, demote, remove the Director of Elections. But there's very few boards I sit on. The boards hire the manager or the director who then takes care of the employees. And in Section B, it seems it changed from the old MOU to this one, that the Board of Election took that away from the director and decided that the board would have authority to recruit, hire, supervise, evaluate, discipline, promote, demote, and dismiss employees of the Board of Elections. To me, that should be a director's responsibility and not the board. Boards change in and out. I don't think that's by statute, but that's just my concern. Other than that, I think it was all heard at the agenda session. I just had to have my say, Mr. Chairman. I don't have a problem if you all go ahead and carry it to a vote, because I think it was done at the agenda session. So we don't need to hold another history on that.
So, Assistant Manager Bradley, could you look to answer the question around the change from the old MOU to the new MOU on the point that Commissioner Adams mentioned? If you can, if not,
the
we
Board of
could.
Elections developed the delegation of duties of the director, which includes that, but we do have the board chair, Linda DeVore, as well as Irene Grimes from the Board of Elections here to answer in any more detail specifically from them.
Before we go to the board chair, Attorney Hasty, anything to add on this item? Was this done by our attorney, or was it done by, what was the change? What's the difference between the two MOUs?
I don't think I'm not aware there was a
Okay.
change. I thought that there was some inquiry to the board, and I'm not sure that was
Okay.
made. I mean,
No, there was no change afterwards.
I'm not aware of it.
Okay.
I talked to Mr. McGuckin today, and he said this looks the same as what he had seen earlier.
Commissioner Adams, you're recognized.
Maybe we just misunderstand the question. Not from what we had on the board agenda, but from the old MOU to this new MOU.
MOU.
See, I think he had a different
Yeah.
question.
Oh, yeah.
And that puts you at a disadvantage because you may not have seen that. But I don't want you to think that we're talking about from Thursday to
Right,
now.
correct.
Nothing did change on that.
Correct.
That is correct. Nothing did change on that. But I'm talking about from the
From the-
old MOU to this one. That's that. And you weren't privy to that.
I'm not aware.
Yeah.
I've not
Yes.
seen the version.
Give us 1 second, Ms. DeVore, if you would. Ms. Bradley, anything else to add?
No.
Chairwoman DeVore, if you'll come to the podium, if you can just give us the specific answer to that question.
I can.
Thank you.
The answer to that question is did not change. In fact, I have the old 26-year-old MOU in front of me, and it says this agreement does not affect the Cumberland County Boards of Elections statutory authority to appoint, discipline, and remove employees.
That's a different section. I saw that. That is a different section. I'm talking about up in B. B did change. That part didn't change.
Sir,
I'm
the
not-
old one, there is not a B.
Are you okay?
It goes on to say there'll be no appeal of the decision of that board to any county entity. I'm reading the 26-year-old document. It's right in front of me.
Thank you, Chairwoman DeVore.
Okay.
Commissioner Adams, anything else?
No, we're just talking about different documents, different sections. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
I'm good.
So this is just a
Ms.
one-page document.
Ms. DeVore, Chairwoman DeVore.
Yes.
All done? We're good, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Assistant Manager Bradley, anything else? Okay. Vice Chairman Jones, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. let the record reflect that I still feel the same way as well, although it was already mentioned. I am not in agreement that when it comes to any employees, whether Board of Election or any employees, because although I know it is statute, I would encourage the listening audience to write to their senators and their district representatives, because I'm not in agreement with that. There's no appeal upon, process, and so that is very concerning to me, as there might be conflict of interest between two employees. There should always be some type of appeal process, and I wanted the record to state that I'm not in agreement with that, and I do understand that that is on the state level, but perhaps our listening audience and our citizens might find that to be of their concern now that they're aware, and write the appropriate government elected officials would be, no doubt, their district representatives and their House representatives. So I just wanted that stated on the record, and I did have a little bit of confusion. I don't know if this is the time and place, as I have read it, but need to go back and thoroughly read it. So I do appreciate Ms. Deviere trying to enlighten us with the fact of the different MOUs. I do want to go back and read that, and I would like the opportunity. It seems like you have something to add to that, because that is of concern to me. Just making sure that MOUs, if they're updated or not, and that myself, as a citizen, not only as an elected official, understands what's what. And I like to be educated, instead I always happen to say, go call the Board of Elections if I'm addressed with the issue.
Vice Chairman, did you have a question?
Is that a question you'd like me to address?
Madam Chairwoman, please let me. Thank you. Vice Chairwoman, do you have a question for the Board of Elections Chairwoman?
Yes, I would like if she could reiterate on that, and then if one of her staff seems to have an input so that I can be clear on it, or when I'm asked out in the community, especially with voting season coming up, I'd appreciate that from them both. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I believe the answer...
Chairwoman DeVore, you're recognized.
Thank you. I believe the answer to your question may revolve around the statutory authority under which we operate, which is the State Board of Elections. We're not a department of the county. We, for payroll services purposes, which is what this memorandum is about for personnel, appreciate the assistance of the county in administering our pay and classifications, but we, just like the Sheriff's Department and the Board of Education, we are an independent agency, not under the authority of the county commissioners, though you fund our employees, and we appreciate that very much. We wouldn't be able to hold elections without you, and we'll be coming to you more about that later. But I hope that answers your question.
And yes, it does, and thank you, and that makes it be simplified answer. So when I'm asked out in the public, I like to keep it simple. I appreciate that, and I can share with them exactly what you stated is statutory, but that does simplify to be able to give an answer instead of always having to tell people to call you all. Thank you so much.
Sure,
I appreciate
absolutely.
that.
Thank you, Vice Chairman. Thank you, Chairwoman DeVore. And I do want to recognize Member Grimes, who's part of the Board of Elections. Not to answer any questions, just I want to make sure I recognize you. Your Chairwoman speaks for your board, and so I want to be respectful of that, but I want to recognize you as a member that is here in this. Any other questions or comments, Commissioners? Seeing none, I will entertain a motion. Commissioner Tyson, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I make a motion that we approve the attached MOU between Cumberland County and the Cumberland County Board of Elections as presented in our packet.
Second.
We've got a motion to approve the Board of Elections MOU as presented in our packet. Any discussions or comments, and properly second, any discussions or comments on that motion? Seeing none, I'll ask for your vote. All in favor, raise your right hand.
Voting in favor, Commissioner Tyson, Commissioner Council, Chairman Deviere, Commissioner Patel, and Commissioner Fairclough. Voting in opposition, Vice Chairwoman Jones and Commissioner Adams.
Thank you, Assistant Manager Bradley, and to the Board of Elections members, thank you for being here and staying for this long meeting. We'll go ahead and move to item 6. There are no appointments for the meeting. At this time, I'm going to go once again and recess the Board of Commissioners meeting. I will go ahead and convene the Overhills Park, Water, and Sewer District Governing Board meeting. And board, without objection, I would ask for your approval of the memorandum of understanding between the Town of Spring Lake and the Overhills Park and Water Sewer District, and authorize the chairman to execute the memorandum of understanding. Seeing no objection, so moved. I will adjourn the Overhills Park and Water and Sewer District Governing Board, and I'll reconvene the Board of Commissioners meeting At this time, we do not have any items for closed session, and so I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Vice Chairman Jones.
I move that we adjourn this meeting.
We've got a motion to adjourn. It's been properly seconded. Any questions or comments on the motion? Seeing none, I'll ask for your vote. All in favor, raise your right hand.
Unanimous.